Yo,
Greetings, state. Yo, yeah. Um, yeah, here we are. Greetings, such. all the stuff that I usually say. I don't know. Kind of stumble over shit on stumble over the starting block there a little bit.
well,
Welcome to Abyssal Musings, folks.
I got a little itchy with the finger. I was like, okay, well, I'll just hit it at 2. That sucker came on real quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, welcome to the 87th Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous. Jesus Christ, I'm stumbling over everything. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me is my co-host and partner, Lawrence Knight.
Hi.
So we're live. We're live everywhere that matters. Rumble, YouTube, Twix. Looking into other possibilities down the road, but we ain't there yet. So if you're in any of those places, feel free to drop a comment, like whatever, do the thing or don't do the thing. I don't know. Free country, at least for now. Appreciate y'all being here. And as for my co-host, how's the weather?
You know what? The weather has actually been pretty good. I thought that I mean, shoot. I thought I was in for it where I'm at, and that hurricane just skipped us all together. So I
Good.
definitely wasn't complaining.
Yeah, glad to hear it. It looked like it was going to be a bit of a doozy too. They were talking about like as far inland as it was supposed to go, it was going to jack up the weather patterns for thousands of miles. Like tornadoes on the East Coast kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, it didn't do that. So, you know,
Yeah, it looks like it just got on Houston with no mercy, and then after that, really didn't hear much of anything else.
yeah. I mean, Houston, right? Am I right, folks? You Texans out there, you know what I'm talking about. I hate that town, man.
Shoot, well,
So
tell the town how you really feel.
I've been to Houston exactly one time, and my experience was such that I will never return to that city. I don't care if it's the last bastion of sanity and civilization on earth. I will die in the wasteland before I go back to Houston.
That bad?
Yeah. It was just like there were other circumstances that contributed to the awfulness of it. It wasn't just Houston, but Houston was involved, and that was enough for me. I mean, I won't go back to Texas if I can help it, but if I have to go back to Texas, I'm certainly not going to Houston.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
So, yep, Aaron Lauren, that's exactly right. Fuck them both. There are other places in Texas where the people are friendlier and all that stuff. I mean, the climate is enough to keep me out of the place. Like, I know it's a big state and it's got multiple climates, but most of it's just too hot and dry for my taste. Too low elevation, just is just not environmentally conducive to me, who spent my entire life high elevation in very cold weather.
Yeah.
So, but there are people there who were good people, and there are things to recommend Texas to people who are into Texas. But it's not for me. So shall we say hello to the chat here?
Let's go for it.
All right. First up, we got Beak at hashtag before Larry. I gotta admit that's pretty clever. I don't think Larry thinks it's as funny as I do, Beak.
Not really.
We have Kohai Masochist with us. I see Caucasian Sasquatch in chat. Good to see him, man. I've got Zillage here. As always, a pleasure. We have Aaron Laura with us, who's brought up just a moment ago. Actually, I don't think I saw you in Luke Casley's chat. You might have been in Maggie's chat, but I know we were both watching a bit of their stream earlier when they were doing the Ladies Club stream. So said hello to Luke Castley. And I would like to shout out to Luke Castley, 20 over 50 right now. Apparently, after the last time we did a stream on this channel, which was last Saturday, the following day on the 7th was Luke Castley's 58th birthday. So
Oh
shout out to
wow.
Lou. Happy birthday. Love you.
Yeah, happy
And
birthday.
wishing you many more. So yeah. Hi,
Hi.
Nelly.
How's it going, guys?
Not so
No
bad. Not so
twice.
bad.
Yeah. Sorry I'm late.
We just started.
I was taking a nap.
So it's
you
Larry.
were fun. I was too. I woke up I had to extend the minutes. I woke up 3 minutes before we were supposed to go on. And I remember the last thing I was thinking was I just sat down, I just laid down, and I wasn't intending on taking a nap. And I was thinking, what could happen? And boom, I was out.
Yeah. Hi, Lou. Happy birthday.
Hi, Lou. Happy birthday.
Happy 28th.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Lou Castley is I gotta say, Lou, I'm with Larry on this. Like you look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had to guess what your age was, it would be closer to low to mid 30s.
Yeah, you look good. You do. What's your secret? What's your moisturizer brand you're using?
Me, all of my facial hair is turning white, and I've got freaking smile lines crawling up the side of my head.
Sorry, guys. Still just adjusting my camera.
No,
but yeah. You look good, Lou. You look good. I'm a fan. Not hating on your youthful skin.
Persian coconut oil. Lou, you're not. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but Lou, are you putting it on your face, or are you putting it in your food? No, that's an honest question.
That is an honest question.
I don't know. Maybe both.
I mean, if she is, I might have to try that.
Could be. Well, dude, you look great too. Actually, you got very smooth skin. It's what's the expression? Black don't crack, right? Well, pasty white like my ass does. There's going to come a day here in about 10 years where I'm going to look like the fucking salt flats in Utah.
Oh man, you're going to be real salty. Well, you think salt will do you good because salt is a natural preserver, so I think you do great.
Have you been to the salt flats, Nomi?
No.
So, as far as the eye can see, it's nothing but flat, white, plain, but it's so desiccated because of the salt, right? The salt absorbs all the moisture that the ground is cracked like a major earthquake went through there, except it didn't. It just is that dry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never been, so I just know that salt is a preserver.
It's it's funny because the last time I was on a panel with Shadow of Hawk, he keeps bringing up the fact that I've got Native American in me and all that stuff, and I keep telling him, I was like, yeah, but it's not as much as the white, like it's there, and it's more than most, but it's not I'm not half by any measure, and us white people, we don't do so good in the sun.
You do. Yeah, you do burn and turn red easily.
Yeah, you do.
And we blister, we boil. It's an ugly thing, That's always amazes me that so many white people came from the far north where there's nothing but sunlight and glare from all of the ice and the snow, reflecting all that back up at them. So even if you're wearing shades or a wide brim hat, it doesn't matter. It's still coming at you.
Coming at you like a blitz.
Yeah. See, the Eskimos and the Inuits make much more sense because they're darker people. They also come from the far north, what's the name of that? There's a tribe in Finland who are not Finnish. I forget what they're called.
European.
Well, yeah, they are a European tribe, but they're like an old school, the remnants of an old pagan tribe that was nearly wiped off the face of the earth by the Finns.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a handful of them left. They're not exactly. They're like, I don't know, weirdly Slavic with kind of almond shaped eyes, and they're a little darker complected than your average Scandinavian, and like they're a separate genotype.
Italian?
Phenotype. They're not Italian, no. Karelians, I don't know if that's the word either, actually. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there's only a handful of them left. They only live in northern Finland. They're considered second-class citizens and barely human by most of the Finnish population. You know,
So the Kryptonians.
Kryptonians would be badass.
That'd be pretty sick. They live among us.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is while they're technically white people, they're darker complected white people, which I think makes more sense the further north you go, where it's nothing but light all the time, except for a month of darkness.
Yeah, have you ever seen that movie Hoodlum?
I don't think so.
I think it was Eli Roth that played the Dutchman, and he was almost like when he was talking about Italians and blacks, and he was just like, I'm not going to say some derogatory names, but he found out that one of the other gangsters, and it was an Italian guy, was teaming up with Bumpy, which was the black guy, Lawrence Fishburne's character, and he was just like, he was talking about Italians, and he was like, they're nearly ends, they're dark complected bastards. I was like, dang, dude, you look pretty light to me.
Yeah. No, I always laughed at that whole, like, the notion that, and I think you and I, Larry, have probably discussed this before with Amira behind the scenes and all that, but it always amazes me that people refer to everybody who's not white as colored or people of color, right? Generally speaking, because they're, not white, and there's a variety of colors there. But in terms of like the widest variation in skin tone, you can't beat Europeans.
Asians, isn't it?
They come in so many different shades that some of them don't look like they're related in any way.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and plus we change color more visibly than anybody else does. When we get sick, we turn physically green.
You guys turn translucent.
We turn bright red. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, when a brown girl likes me turns white, I'm sick.
Yeah,
real sick.
Like,
and when a black guy like me turns white, we're just ashy. Lotion.
Well, let me put it this way, right? And I mean no disrespect to anybody out there, but I have never seen, or if I have seen them, I haven't known what to recognize, a jaundiced black man. But when white people get jaundiced, we turn yellow. Our eyes turn yellow, our gums turn yellow, our skin turns yellow.
The yellow that was already on you turns yellow.
Yeah.
And then you turn blue because we can see your blood in your veins before it turns red. So yellow and blue make green.
Yeah, and then we turn dead.
And then you're 6 feet under.
Yeah. Suka, and welcome in, Suka. But I don't know if that's like, because you can get yellow whites of the eyes without actually being jaundiced. There are other things that cause that. So I don't know if that's a good indicator or not. I have met a lot of black people whose eyes were not like the whites of the eyes weren't like white. Mm-hmm. They come in variations, but I don't know if that's due to like substance abuse or toxins or whatever, and if the ones who have like really whites of their eyes are just healthier in general, or if that's just like a variation in color, or I'm not sure why that is, but I don't know that that's necessarily a good indicator of jaundice, because jaundice affects your liver, which affects like everything. So I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm talking about this one. Like, there's a black guy on the panel who probably knows more about this than I do.
I know nothing. I mean, Nomi, weren't you a nurse in another life, or a doctor? Maybe you could tell us something.
Not really, but I know a lot of natural remedies.
Huh. A natural remedy for jaundice?
Yeah. I'll have to look it up. I have books about it, but yeah. A jaundice, that's like relating to kidney failure.
Yeah, it can also manifest as in having like low iron content in your blood, like it's a byproduct of being anemic as well.
Yeah, so being anemic and like having blood problems, I would use cayenne pepper. Just make it into a tea. It's gonna be spicy as fuck, but it's gonna get your blood sugar going and get it moving into your system, like in your veins, where it doesn't coagulate, where it becomes a clot and then travels up to your heart or something.
Yeah. So I also know that there are certain chemicals that can sort of replicate the symptoms of jaundice without actually being jaundice. Like a certain kind of amphetamines and that kind of thing will cause symptoms similar to that. Which to the untrained eye, and I'm the untrained eye here, can look like the same thing here. And it's also possible though that I've actually just never met a Black person who had jaundice, that they're out there. I've just never run across one.
Larry, go get sick.
don't get sick.
I've met a couple that, their eyes were yellow, and that was the only way that I knew.
Yeah,
their eyes were a bit yellow, and so that was a telltale sign. But as for cayenne pepper, yeah, I mean, Nomi she hit the nail on the head with that one. I love cayenne pepper. I actually put cayenne pepper on vanilla ice cream, and it actually tastes really good.
I make when I make spicy hot chocolate, I use cayenne pepper.
I don't know why you'd want hot chocolate's supposed to be a sweet drink. Why would you spice it up?
I'm Mexican, dude. That is such a popular drink down here. Spicy hot chocolate, yes. Especially especially red chili hot chocolate. That's actually my favorite.
I wonder if that's not necessarily a Mexican thing as it is a Southern thing, because I don't get iced tea either. I think that tea is a drink that should be served hot or not at all.
I like it both.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Southerners like both, but like iced tea is a big thing in the South, and it's not so much here. We don't put ice in our tea here.
You know what? I'm gonna have to try that though. Because here's the thing, Sam, is that cayenne pepper goes with just about anything. You'd be surprised how good that stuff can make something else taste.
Welcome, Kimberly.
Hello, Kimberly.
I'm not a pepper kind of guy. I don't really care much for spices of that nature.
And well, that explains why you're so pasty white.
I mean, it might, yeah. I don't. My palate doesn't handle it very well, and I don't process it very well, and so it causes problems that I just as soon as avoid. So yeah, most of my food is bland, but this is not indicative of me being white so much as me being personally picky, because even the food I eat is typically bland even by white people's standards.
So no seasoned chicken, white rice, no seasoned veggies, that's your meal.
It depends on the seasonings, because there are other seasonings that are not spicy. Like like honey lemon kind of stuff,
yeah.
That kind of thing. My ex-wife made the best honey lemon chicken. It was incredible, but she figured out how to do things where she could work in the spices that she liked, but still keep them tolerable to myself and our kids' palate, because my kid is even more picky than I am. And the woman is a hell of a cook. There's reasons why I married her,
She knew the way to your heart.
Yeah, I mean, you cook me a good meal and I'm done. Yeah.
No, I mean that's why he keeps dating all these women that wind up on the FBI's most wanted list and all that, because they can cook.
Yeah, because they learned in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sam's been eating
cooking
prison
meth
food.
doesn't count, Larry.
Sam's been eating prison food.
Oh my gosh.
Been eating prison food and didn't know it. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So on today's show, so Nomi, what we have today is so today we have, of course, we have some news, and in honor of the month of intervention that we've been trying to pull for Sam, I pulled a list of famously crazy women that Sam would have been attracted to. They're all movie characters, but but a lot of them are legitimately legendary, and definitely women that, yeah, I would say in some cases according to movies were good cooks, or could cook bland enough that Sam would like it, and then they would get him in bed and try to kill him, which is also adds to Sam's excitement, why he dates him. And then I am going to read off a list. So one of the things that I decided to bring back, Nomi, we were Sam and I were discussing this a few months ago, is we only did it on one show last year and called it Versus. And so what we did was we took one famous character versus another and pit them against each other, and we kind of looked at their stats a little bit, try
I
to
think Nomi
figure
was on
out.
that show.
Were you?
I think I was. It sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah. So I decided to bring it back, but expand on it. And I have a list of 40 participants. Well, I'm going to read off the list today because I want there to be rules and stuff. And some of them, I'm going to have to add, we're going to have to add some plot armor to, because compared to some of the others, they would be roadkill pretty quick. So kind of got to use the advantages that they had in the movies to give them some kind of plot armor. But I figured I'd read off the list, and maybe we could discuss some rules and parameters, and then until we get to who is the ultimate baddie of this Monsters Ball, and it's gonna be a winners and a losers bracket, and ultimately one will be left standing. So I'll read out the list a bit later.
Okay.
Other than that, now, folks, while we get set up, your our precious Nomi she risked her health, and you talk about jaundice. She risked her health to go to a con in Colorado.
Mm.
The con crowd tried to kill her. It
I
tried to
saw
give
some
her
pictures.
jaundice. Yeah, it tried to give her jaundice, but it couldn't do it.
Yeah, Colorado couldn't kill me. That's why I left that godforsaken state.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good. It was Denver Fan Expo was a lot of fun. So y'all may know that Tabitha is one of my good friends where we stream a lot doing games. The day that I was leaving to go to Denver, we traveled by night, and I was going with my sister and her boyfriend, or they came with me. And I was again, I was about to leave in 15 minutes, and Tabitha texts me. She's like, I really want to play Mario Party, but you're the only friend that I play with. I was like, oh, I think my car has Wi-Fi. let me test it out. And yeah, I connected my car Wi-Fi to my Switch. And yeah, that was interesting. And then we left. My sister was driving, so Tabitha was able to stream. I wasn't, but I hosted the game of Mario Party on my Switch, and I was able to talk to her through Discord, and yeah, it worked out. So I played with Tabitha for 2 hours on the road using my car Wi-Fi.
Whilst driving?
My sister was driving, not me.
Okay, good.
That would be a challenge. If I were to do that, play the Switch while driving, I would have played Mario Kart instead of Mario Party. Oh my gosh. So we got to Denver at like 5 a.m. Yeah, we got to the place we were staying at. And for some reason, that person's place that we were staying at kept their house at 62 degrees. And I was freezing cold. I was miserable. Like even in the morning when we got like 5 in the morning when we got out of the car, we're going to the house. It was a brisky morning. It's like, oh, I forgot how brisk Colorado is in the morning. So I'm already cold outside. It's like, that's okay. When I go inside, it's gonna be warm. Nope. Got inside and I was miserable. I did everything. I covered myself up. I had a thick blanket that was given to me and I warmed up a little bit. And then that was actually Thursday. That was 4th of July. Caught up with friends up there in Denver that I haven't seen in a long time. And we went, a friend and I, we were going to catch up with some other friends that were at a certain part of town because we were going to watch the Coors Field fireworks show. On our way there, my friend and I got stuck in traffic. It was literally bumper to bumper. Like, well, what the heck is going on? Like downtown Denver, what the heck? And they're like, oh, people are trying to watch the fireworks show at Coors Field because we were literally across the street from Coors Field. So we made a U-turn, but we weren't stressed or anything. We're just like, well, looks like we're going to miss out hanging out with our friends. And then the fireworks show started. And I told my friend to put the car in park, turn it off. And then we just sat on the roof of the car and just watched the fireworks show on the bridge. And other people started following our example, even though there was slow traffic going through. And what's
I caught
Denver?
a fireworks show there once.
Wait, what?
I caught a fireworks show at Coors Field once.
It's super cool. Yeah, that's my second time seeing a Coors Field fireworks show. And I got to see it on the bridge, so it was like right here.
I think I was 13, maybe 12, 13, 14 years old, somewhere in there. And my dad and my current at that time stepmother, he's been married to like 5 women since my mom. Anyway, he took us to see a Rockies game at Coors Field up and got us seats up in the rock pile, right? Which for those of you who have not been to Coors Field is the cheap seats. They're pretty high up, but you can see the whole field from anywhere in there.
The broke people seats, but they're still good seats.
Yeah, and it was I think, if I remember right, because I've seen 3 Rockies games in person, and I think this was the Rockies versus the Montreal Expos.
Ooh.
So anyway, I don't really remember the game much, except that the Rockies got their asses kicked by a bunch of Canadians on the 4th of July. And,
go figure.
So, right. Well, after the game, they did the fireworks display. Well, the place where they had chosen to set up and launch everything from was right behind the rock pile, out in the little bit that's out back behind there.
Yeah.
And so all of this stuff, it was exploding directly over our heads. It was fucking incredible. You know, it was very loud, very intense, but it was just like, it was like being a part of the display. It was very cool. But the thing I remember the very most about this was that after a particularly bright, big explosion, this piece of burning cardboard debris comes like floating down out of the sky and right into my current stepmother's open mouth.
Oh, poor thing.
She was fine. She was just embarrassed, but
I'll bet.
But she was like oohing and ahhing, so her mouth was like agape when this happened. Good times.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, because it landed on your stepmom. Good times. Good times.
I actually liked that one, but yeah.
Dang. But yeah, no, Coors Field's fireworks show, even though the Rockies suck, they still do a good fireworks show. And then the next day would be Friday. I had a couple of like personal errands, got my nails done. Because the nails here, like for this type of detailed work, this would have been $150 here at home. Let's see if I can like.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is easy $150 here where I live. But my nail tech back in Denver, he's like, oh yeah, $80. I'm like, I'm going to wait for you. Yes. So I got my nails done and then rested up a little bit, surprised a couple of people at a bar place, And then Tabitha showed up, and then we had a grand old time. And then con was on Saturday. The only thing I hated about con is that there was no water to be found. I hated every minute of it because I was thirsty as fuck, no cell service, hot because of the body, temperature from everyone. But yeah, it was not fun. And then there was a time where Tabitha and I were like, let's just go to the Starbucks that's around the corner, around the block, and let's just get a refresher drink. So we did that. And then I was like, we're going back to con. I am not going back there without water because you can take outside food. You can bring outside food inside the con. So I did that with water and my drink. And Horror Amarada and Sheepsidian were there. And then I'm just drinking my refresher. Cash was with me. He's the smoking guy meme. And we were just waiting for Ripa's line to pass through. We were just watching everybody meet and greet Ripa. And then out of nowhere, Horror Amarada comes out of nowhere. She's like, where did you get the water? I'm like, oh, I got it at Starbucks. She's like, I'm dying. I'm thirsty. There's no water. I'm like, do you want my water? She's like, yes. And she just started drinking it. I was like, oh my God, I can go get one for you at Starbucks. It's around the corner. She's like, no, it's okay. This is just what I needed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you poor thing. But yeah, I thought that was just funny about her. She's like, where'd you find the water? It's like, Starbucks.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to con on Sunday. Because I wanted to do a couple of things in Denver because I haven't been there in a year. And I caught up with Tabitha later on, and then Dom H, Gal. It was a grand old time. And then it was until Monday that I was starting to come back home. That's where I felt it as like, oh, like I don't feel good. My nose is drippy. I can't breathe. My eyes are watery. I think I have a fever. And yeah, my sister checked my temperature. She's like, yeah, you're pretty warm. And then it kept clearing out my throat constantly. I was like, oh, I think this is con crud. I think this is what people are talking about after they're done with con. This is the sickness they get. So yeah.
Makes me not want to go.
I'll be very honest. I think I'm done going to cons. It's fun. If the company is good, I will go, but I think I'm done with going to cons.
Yeah, it's a risk that you take anytime you go to any kind of convention or large gathering of people that you might come into contact with somebody who's got something. And if everybody's milling around and in like mingling and meeting and greeting and shaking hands and shit like that, yeah, this stuff gets passed around pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, most of the time it's just like a mild cold or a flu. Sometimes it's a little more severe than that. But yeah, it's anytime you get a lot of people in a large room packed in like sardines where everybody's sweating and dying of thirst, somebody's going to not feel so great at the end of that.
Yeah. Yes. And then if I had known I could take outside food inside, I would have packed my little cooler with tons of water. I mean, I could have made a profit. I could have sold bottles of water there.
Yeah, that's true. You could have cleaned up selling water up in there. Like $1 a bottle. I mean, you figure you go buy a pack. I mean, $1 a bottle. That's like a pack would have made you what, $34?
Yeah.
Oh no, Aaron! Please tell me he wasn't like you were like a kid and he wasn't as old and like broken looking as he was at the end of his life. Stanley was a great man, but he was a little dude. He was pretty decrepit by the end there.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, on to the news. Sam, I hear that oh Lord sound coming out of your nose. This one isn't bad. So this lady, I've heard of free diving, but I thought that at least for an opening video, this would be pretty cool. This lady is just she's free diving and going through small space. And
I've seen stuff like this.
how she didn't get stuck.
Because of the melons.
I mean, just the small spaces, you know. But when you
What the?
the hell-
That's the manatee.
Barbara Manatee.
all the humanity.
Manatee. You are
Yeah.
the one for me, one for me, one sent from up
he,
above. Okay, go ahead.
he is not letting go either.
They're apparently very affectionate and friendly creatures, but the
Yeah.
the problem with manatees, the reason that they're endangered and that they're a protected species is not necessarily because of anything that man has directly done to them, but because they're fucking retarded. Right? A lot of them swim into like motorboat props,
Oh,
Oh,
you know, and that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, they were hunted quite a bit because their fat renders very nicely for things that you know make fat out of, I guess. And there's some oils in there
blubber.
that they're essentially like tiny. They're somewhere between like cetaceans and seals. But most of the time when they die, it's because they're retarded. They call them the cows of the sea, and they're about that smart.
Do they taste like cows?
I have no idea. I've never
I
gotten
have
to eat
no
one.
idea. I've never tried one.
They're an endangered species. You know how hard it is to get the meat of an endangered species?
It's
Not
not
really. If I was that girl right there getting hugged by a manatee, I'd be like, all right, dinner served. Let's go.
I'm saying it's illegal to kill them. That's all I'm saying.
Is it? Oh man, everything I want is illegal.
Yeah. So, like, there's a red bristle boar that comes out of I think Central Africa. Right? They're not very big. They're like a little bigger than potbelly pigs, but they don't get as big as like the domestic pigs here. And from what I understand, then they've got these like long red bristles that come off of their back. And they're supposed to be, from what I understand, the tastiest porcine on planet Earth. But of course, I will never get a chance to eat one because there's only like fucking 200,000 of the goddamn things left in the world. You know? So Denver Zoo's got like 4 of them, I think.
Mm. So they're holding them captive.
Yeah, I really want to try them though. They shouldn't have told me they were that tasty. That's all I'm saying.
Now I won't be happy until I taste that.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
You know,
I'm
I
almost
wonder.
hoping for sorry, man.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I'm almost hoping for the end of the world so that nobody will bitch when I do kill and eat one.
Good grief, man! You're the only person I know. Like I always say, you're the only person I know where the world could be actually ending, and you'd be at the top of the on the top of a mountain, going yes, yes, dancing.
There are upsides. That's all I'm saying. Anywho,
man, you something else. I wonder how that school bus got down there.
probably fell off a bridge. Be my guess. If this is out like by Florida Keys ways,
I hope nobody was in it.
I mean, somebody would have been the driver at the very least. It probably got out.
I hope so.
You know,
I mean, shoot, that thing went off.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Even if they hadn't gotten out, like by now, the other divers, like professional rescue divers, would have gone in and retrieved any bodies that were left. Unfortunately, that is a school bus, which usually means kids.
Mm. Well, know me.
Larry.
This next one is not for you. So as I was researching earlier this week, I saw that there's this lady that apparently she used to be a prison guard, and she became I guess a kind of I don't even know if you would call it psychologist. I wouldn't, but she helps people with mental illness discover intimacy, so to speak. So she's a holistic sex worker. She helps people with disabilities.
I've read this before.
What kind of disabilities? Are we talking like I'm missing a limb, or are we talking about Down syndrome? Because like one of them is okay and the other is not.
Okay, calm down, Samuel.
Did you say calm downs?
Well, we know she. We know she's not Sam's type. She's not a redhead.
Here we go.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm down, Samuel. Sit down.
No, I think Larry, you're missing the joke.
Can you imagine if in the movie The Incredibles, like when Syndrome starts getting like really upset, if Mr. Incredible had said, calm down, Syndrome.
the calm downs.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, she's a. What is it with all these Australians?
Give her a minute.
This is Kohai without red hair. No, Kohai wouldn't do this. Kohai was trying to kill him afterwards, but she's probably trying to. Kohai would probably drug him and take their money and leave. Holistically, of course. She's still laughing. No. You got the calm downs.
Oh yeah, there's no way we're getting canceled for this.
Stop it.
You got the calm downs. Calm downs. The calm downs.
Okay, I think I'm past it now. Oh my god.
But yes, this 31-year-old Australian model breaks in $10K in a single meet on X-rated platforms. So it's nearly 10 times what she used to make, roughly $1,100 a week. But if an ex-inmate contacts her, she gives them an immediate hell no and blocks them. But what if they have a case of the calm downs? Because don't they have like a mental wing in prisons?
They generally don't put those guys in.
But isn't that like a 88? Well, I mean, they're Australian, so it's probably like, well, I guess, yeah, ADA, Australian Disabled with Disabilities Act.
You got the calm down Anders.
Yep, calm down undies. They got the calm down undies on.
Hey, Andy Pickle. That's a hell of a note to come in on.
Highly inappropriate. Wait. She's calling it highly inappropriate, adding she has too much respect for the work.
What, sex work? Because yeah, that's all about respect.
If an ex-inmate contacts her, and if they say, okay, well, I have the calm downs, then she doesn't care because it's highly inappropriate.
We're gonna run this joke into the ground.
So she's not willing to let a calm downs ram her?
Nope. So they'll never be calm.
That's actually, racist towards the calm downs.
It is.
In all seriousness,
that's discriminatory. Yeah.
And you know what happens to them? They turn against their fellow Australians and they befriend emus and they try to take over. They'll probably succeed.
So in all seriousness, she is claiming to do some kind of therapy here, but what she's actually doing is being paid as a very high-end escort.
Yep.
So she's a prostitute.
Yeah.
That's it.
With her nose up in the air where convicts are concerned. And you're in Australia, so isn't Australia like...
So she's a tax-funded sex worker.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she's a prostitute, and I mean, it does not surprise me at all that the Australian government would fucking throw money at that.
It's older than 30.
Oh.
So yeah, all of that lead up, all of that, like, oh, she's doing a service and she's doing all this stuff. No, she's a whore. You know, call it what it
Calm
is.
down, man.
I'm not against prostitution, as you guys know. Generally speaking, I'm really not, but I don't believe in calling things what they're not. And what she is not is helping.
She's spreading.
Yeah.
Diseases and legs.
Yeah, and what she's spreading is not con crud.
Yes.
It's crud, but it's not con crud.
I suppose it depends on how many guys.
Wow, you look at, I guess, well, guys are being conned by her and taking her crud.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, here's the next one. Girl 1 is found to have a fetus growing in her skull that was once her twin sister.
Oh no. Oh, poor girl.
This is crazy. Now this I thought this is serious as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to scroll down because they actually show it. They can, like fuzz it out and do all this stuff, but
it's just out of respect. Like, this is something that this girl couldn't help happening.
And she didn't make it, but I didn't want to scroll down any further. But this is just my way of saying, I mean, these things happen. But my condolences, really to her parents and to her. I mean, this is crazy. It affects roughly 1 in every 500,000 births. That's not a lot.
If you're talking like total births, then it's not a lot. But if you're talking like births of twins, right? I'm sure the percentage is actually higher because the birth rate of twins is much lower than standard birth rates. And the fact is this actually does kind of happen a lot with twins, particularly identical twins, not so much fraternal, where one of the twins is absorbed back into the other one in the womb. And it is actually fairly common. Although typically it's total absorption. When it isn't, then you get cases like this, which are actually very rare because it's usually total absorption, or occasionally you get what used to be referred to as Siamese twins, now called conjoined twins and stuff like that, where, like, I think there was a famous one here recently where it was twin girls who shared one body, but they had, like, their own heads, and each of them controls like one side of the body. One of them got married. The other one is not married, but they only have like one working set of plumbing between the two of them, kind of thing. It's a whole thing, but that is more common than I think incidents like this where you get partial absorption, but only one of the twins lives.
It's sad. No, and what I meant by that's not a lot, I mean, how can I say, it seems like it's more, I mean, 1 in 500,000 births. When you look at all the births that happen in the world, that one is a pretty high number. It's not like oh, it's just just 1 in a billion. Like, no, this is a bit more serious than it looks. But yeah, my condolences to that child and her parents. That's rough.
Absolutely,
that is rough.
You said this girl didn't survive the procedure.
Yeah, it says she didn't survive. It said that the damage to her brain was just too severe, and she didn't make it through the night.
Man, not even the calm downs took her out.
Man,
no.
I am usually the one with the inappropriate joke, but not tonight.
If Caucasian Sasquatch was on here, I would expect him to say that.
Oh, that was harsh, Nomi.
Rest in peace, Chigga.
So yeah, in all seriousness, though, yeah, like, I'm with Larry. Condolences to the family and all that stuff. I am sorry to hear about your loss. That if you ever hear this, and I hope you don't, because we're awful people. But
please take your hate on me, not my co-host, but on me.
if they watch any of the rest of the content on this channel, they can hate me too. But seriously though, yeah, condolences to that family. That is an awful thing. To lose not one but two children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's the next one. Here is because I split the news in two. After this, we're going to go into. I'm going to read off the list of the 40 participants in Monsters Ball, and then we're going to go into the list of some of Sam's potential love partners who don't have a case of the calm downs. They needed it. Trust me, they needed it. But Sam likes them crazy. So anyway, this lady bit, and I mean,
oh, bit. I've seen this video. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
She just took a chunk out of that dude's shirt.
Yep. It was his little flapper thingy right here.
These people have an attitude problem. They don't do their job.
I could kind of see her going, step on that thing.
Sam, it sounds like you're getting aroused.
No, not particularly. You could like splice the two memes together. It'd be pretty funny.
Old lady, who are you talking to? Old lady, go back to Russia. Old lady, go back to Russia. Where are you from, old lady? Suck my. Suck my.
Yeah, she's definitely your type.
I'm not usually down with women who tell me to suck the dick.
She doesn't really. Well, we don't know if she really has one or not.
So, what was the reason why she had her meltdown?
Let's see. It says that she. Let's see. Barely made it off the runway before this girl tripped out. I'm an effing girl. Are you trying to kill me? So they're not really saying. Look at that, Sam. That's foreplay for you.
No, it's really not.
I think you can fix her, Sam.
Yeah, that's foreplay, Sam. Grr.
No, I see. I can't afford all the clothes in the world. I'd really rather she didn't rip them apart with her teeth.
Audio from
she looks awful young too, though.
You're a piece of S. I wish I could effing spit on you right now.
Yeah, she looks like she's Hispanic. It looks like her parents didn't beat her enough with a chancla.
With a what?
A chocolate.
Chancla.
Flip flop.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was thinking Bubba stick.
Sure.
So they're not saying what caused her to flip out. The passenger became aggressive and disruptive, causing the diversion to Orlando and a lengthy delay. But they're not saying what caused it.
Maybe it was that motherfucker who ain't real.
I guess
maybe he's back.
Or someone told her to calm down.
All right.
We didn't even say anything this time. She just started laughing.
I said maybe because I think maybe someone told her to calm down.
Oh, dude, I was talking and I just realized that I froze. I was like just full on talking, and I was looked down. And I was like, "Oh, Naomi is a circle. She's a spinning circle."
Oh, you're buffering.
Right, yeah, I was buffering. But yeah, I'm gonna read. So this is the list of 40. I guess you could say monsters or villains that I added to this list. So number one, of course, Sam's favorite, Pinhead.
Hey,
I
who are
do
you
like
calling
me some
Pinhead?
Pinhead.
Yep. Second is Pennywise, one of my favorites. Third, believe it or not, and I think this guy, Pennywise doesn't scare me, but this guy did for some reason, which is the tall man from Phantasm. He
Yeah,
just
he's
did
creepy.
it. That walk. Freddy Krueger, of course. You know, you have to use Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, The Thing, Dracula, Frankenstein. For those of you who have ever watched Fright Night Part 2, you have Regine Dandridge.
I don't think most people have seen the first Fright Night. Like, it was kind of a cult classic.
God,
I mean, they
great.
remade it obviously with
Buffalo-
Anton Yelchin and Colin Farrell, but you know, and I think more people probably saw that. But the original one, yeah, I don't think that many people saw that the first time around. So a lot of people didn't see the second one.
Well, I buffered again. So, right, like
fair
right
enough.
when I said Regine Dandridge, it just went whoop. But you got, if you've never seen the because they did a remake of Fright Night Part 2, and they did it with I forget what her name was, an English lady, very beautiful. Um, she's but instead of them calling her Regine, they called her Jerry Dandridge, and I was like, oh, that was stupid. You know, no need to do that.
Oh
But
yeah, Jerry.
Friday Night Part 2, believe it or not, you can actually watch it on YouTube. It is on YouTube. You just type up Friday Night Part 2, the 80s version, and I mean, that lady did a great job. The lipstick face demon, you know who that's from, Sam?
No, I don't.
It's not from The Conjuring. It's from what's that movie? Okay, let me I'll show you a photo.
Is it one of those A24 horror movies? Because I've never watched any of them.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I never watched any of the Conjuring stuff. I never watched any of the ancillary stuff like The Nun or you know, La Llorona or any of that stuff that they were all making all those movies in the same universe with the Warrens. Because frankly, I think glorifying the Warrens is retarded. They were con artists, but whatever.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
him
that's
that's him right
yeah.
there.
The actor's fine. I've seen the actor in a bunch of stuff. He's actually really good. But those characters are based on real people who really scammed a lot of people. You know.
Way to be a buzzkill, Sam. Next on the list, Valak from The Conjuring 2, Clover from Cloverfield, Pazuzu from The Exorcist, which was the demon that possessed Reagan, the Predator, Xenomorph from Aliens, Art the Clown from Terrifier. I've never watched Terrifier. I heard that movie is a trip. The series is.
The franchise is
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
I've never
watch
watched them either. It's from what I understand, they rely more on like the gore and the body horror than they do like genuine, you know, scares and all that stuff. It's essentially just kind of gross out, see if they can make you puke and leave the theater kind of stuff.
It's gore porn is basically what it is.
Ah, got you. Let's see who else. Ghostface, right? Sam, here's a classic that you'll like. Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie's cool.
Which is why you like girls similar to her. Jason Voorhees, and then you got the Deadites from Evil Dead, Samara from The Ring, Nancy, the crazy witch from The Craft, Chucky, the Boogle from Sinister, Candyman, and Sam taking it all the way back to the 80s. And I don't think Nomi's ever seen the movie, but I do believe Nomi would like it, which is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that shit's classic.
Never seen
man.
it.
Yeah, you would love it. And check this out. This one is, what's up, Clue? This one is an original. Now, this list includes not just world famous, but independent works of arts. And this horror movie killer is a work of independent art, and that is Kohai the Demon Memer. She's number 27 on the list. And then you got Maximilian, which is from Vampire in Brooklyn. That's Eddie Murphy's character. And then you got the
That was
Leprechaun.
not a good movie, but he was good in it.
Yeah, he was good in it. And then you got the Leprechaun, right? The Collector, which is the Billy Zane's character from the Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight movie. Buffalo Bill from
nice.
Silence of the Lambs. The Fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. The Blob, Sam. We even got Bruce the Shark from Jaws.
Nice.
And then we got Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, Jigsaw, Norman Bates, Hannibal Lecter, Leatherface, and to round it out at number 40, the Creeper.
Oh, from Jeepers Creepers?
From Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
Whom I personally believe Nomi could defeat in a fight.
I don't know. He's immortal.
But the thing about it is that he has something in common with a few other characters like Freddy Krueger and It, which is he can't sense what he likes, what he wants from you unless you're afraid. So he tries to scare you. If he can't scare you, then he leaves you alone. It's like, well,
yeah,
I can't,
I mean, I'm afraid of being rich. I'm afraid of being successful. I'm afraid of, owning multiple stocks that can secure me later in the future. I'm secure. I'm actually really afraid of a commitment and a relationship with someone. So yeah, if he wants to come at me and scare me with those things.
that's not how it works, but sure.
That's not how it works.
Oh, dang. Everything I want is illegal.
Well, let's see. Andy, no, he's not the Creeper is not a djinn. I think he's some kind of demon, isn't he? And he sleeps for a long time, like It does. He sleeps for 25 years.
I think they tried to explain what he actually is in some comic books, and they made several sequels that were only the second one is in any way worth watching, and it's still not that good. Yeah, after they made a third one that I think tries to explain what he is, but no, he's not exactly a demon either. It's more like a primordial creature from the dawn of creation kind of thing.
I guess.
So
he knows
yeah,
I'm trying to give her a break, dude.
So, but yeah, no, it's and in terms of like it of course you're right, the whole thing about causing fear so that it can sniff out if you possess an organ or whatever that it can use. But if you don't have anything that it can use, or if what it's looking for is like if you have a bad liver because you drink too much or whatever and it needs a new liver, it's not going to choose you.
No.
As evidenced in, not to spoil it for everybody, but that's pretty much what happens in the end of the first one, is that one person gets chosen and one does not, and all that. But you're right too, also about it being like, yeah, he is immortal and he can self-repair to kind of a ridiculous degree, but the main characters do beat the shit out of him with like a classic car at one point. So,
yep. I mean, that guy, you could hack him, you could slack him. I mean, you burn him, you could run over with your car, back over him, and he's also ridiculously strong. So
yeah,
when I look at this list, that's what you understand why I said certain people are gonna have they're gonna have to have some kind of plot armor. I mean, of course, I can't alter what they are if they're human to human, but I've got to give them something like, Ghostface. Of course, that character is a strength of that character is knowing how, knowing horror movie genre and, and what works. That can make him very formidable, even against somebody like Michael Myers or somebody like that, because the characters that, were Ghostface, they understood how those movies worked. That can make somebody very formidable.
Right. Well, it's kind of puzzles me too why Pennywise might be included in this, because Pennywise is another order of creature entirely. It's like Pennywise himself is just kind of a semi-tangible psychic extension of it's just a
Yeah.
piece of it that's not wholly real and can only harm you if it can scare you enough to make, like when it takes Georgie's arm, right? It bites Georgie's arm off. But it's only capable of doing that because the more it bites in, the more scared Georgie gets, right? The more mad with fear and pain that he gets. And that is what gives it his strength. If Georgie had not been a 4-year-old boy and been able to stand up for himself and be like, this thing isn't scary at all, that would not have been possible to happen, because what it is, the thing itself, is not physically present there. It's somewhere else. Right. This is just a kind of an extension. There's a reason that like only the children can see it when it manifests as Pennywise or the werewolf or what's her face is Beverly's dad, or
Right.
whatever manifestation it takes.
Right. But that's also good too, because the weaknesses help the battle be more interesting. Like when it transforms into certain creatures, it's beholden to to what affects that creature. So when it turns into a werewolf, it's vulnerable to silver. The silver's not going to kill it, but it's sure to gonna hurt him enough to make him say, "Damn, let me back up a bit and come back at this person with something else."
Right. But again, like when they finally confront the creature itself, and they're confronted with the deadlights and with the weird spider form and all that shit, which is a more physical manifestation of what it really is. Even then, that part of it is only sort of in this reality in the first place.
Yes, I
And so,
understand, Sam, but still, like I said, this is just a monsters ball battle. Do I understand what you're saying? But it's like it's like you're
right.
trying
Well,
to kill what I'm doing before I even
no.
start.
What I'm getting at is that children are easy. What's it going to do to Freddy Krueger?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of the battle. It's not supposed to be easy. I want to have the debate. I want to have the what if, because yeah, it affected children, but when they went back and they were adults, Pennywise still was like, oh, okay, they're coming back for me. Okay, well, the battle is on. And even though they
Sure.
were more formidable, he still got his licks in too. So that's why I'm forming this thing. It's not like it's Pennywise versus a couple of kids. Yeah. I want to see how Pennywise. If we took Pennywise's abilities and aimed them at Freddy Krueger's, and took Freddy Krueger's abilities and aimed them at Pennywise, who would win? Because you could say the same thing about Freddy Krueger. If people don't remember him, if people aren't afraid, he loses his power. If you snatch him out of the dream world, he can be affected. Now, when I was doing the research on it, they were like, "Yeah, he could be killed." I was like, "No, he can't," because when Jason cut his head off in the real world, he was still looking around and laughing and everything, even though his head was separated from his body. So, and he still came back.
Yeah,
albeit in a dream world.
Yeah, and that was the fundamental problem with Freddy versus Jason, which why there weren't a dozen sequels to that, I'll never know, because neither one of them can actually ever be destroyed. Not really.
Because isn't it rumored, and I personally believe that Jason is a Deadite.
There's kind of a fan theory about that. There's nothing concrete in canon about that, but yeah, there is a fan theory about that, because in I want to say it was Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, but the when they finally get to the kind of like dungeon area where his mom's body's at Camp Crystal Lake, there is a copy of the fucking Necronomicon on the table in that room, and it's the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead movies. And I think actually in the original Friday the 13th, one of the characters is watching Evil Dead at one point. So there is a fan theory that he is in fact a Deadite. And I think that actually showed up in one of the comic books crossovers too, but I don't know that that's necessarily canon, because the Deadites can be destroyed, and he is
maybe he's a super Deadite.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but they've reduced it. Like the specific movie that I referenced is Freddy Goes to, or Jason Goes to Hell. They reduce him to nothing but a heart, and he comes back from that. So it is what it is.
I just caught this. I know this is a quick switch. All that lead up to his case, and he just suddenly walks. And poor Nomi, you
On a
look
technicality.
like Nomi, you look, your eyes drip. As soon as we started talking about this, and Sam, I hate to say it, but you pushed it into a direction I was not trying to push the conversation in. But Nomi's eyes just glazed over into La La Land.
No, I'm like, I saw it because I know, because this happened in a state where I'm very close to, and it made sense why it was dismissed. Because New Mexico is a shit state, and I knew he was going to get away with it. The fact that there's no evidence to it was withheld with the prosecution is like, I bet Hollywood or whoever Alec Baldwin has, he's been around, so he is known in Hollywood. He is a good actor. Probably Hollywood made a call to Michelle Lohan Grisham and said, like, you let this slide or we'll never come back to New Mexico to film any type of movies here again.
So I read an article about this earlier today as well. We were actually going to bring it up on tomorrow's show. But from what I understand, the case was thrown out with prejudice due to a technicality. The prosecution was accused of withholding evidence from the defense, which is grounds for mistrial. The defense, of course, was saying, "Oh no, that what they're talking about was unrelated to this case and was related to I can't remember the lady's name, the armorer on the Rust set, like her case." Supposedly,
they hit her. They hit her with both barrels, dude.
She got 18 months, but yeah, which
compared to what he got,
he's not getting anything. He's not even getting a fucking slap on the wrist.
That's what I just said. Compared to what he got, she got hit with both barrels.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and he threw her under the bus too. If you guys remember?
No pun intended.
He did throw her under the bus.
No. So.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Thing is if there's truth to that, if prosecution was withholding evidence, if they weren't disclosing everything to the defense, then they did violate the rules of the court. And there you have it. You know.
But they probably withheld, like you said, like Nomi said, of course it got withheld on purpose to create the technicality so he could walk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and the thing about that is because this was a criminal trial, not the civil trial, and because this involved the death of another person specifically, but I forget which amendment it is. It might be a clause in the 8th Amendment, but I don't remember specifically which one it is. But there is one of the amendments in the Bill of Rights that has a clause that's popularly known as double jeopardy, where you cannot be tried for the same, or you can't be convicted for the same crime twice, which I think they alluded to here, but they can't. Because he wasn't convicted, I don't know that necessarily applies. But she did say when she dismissed it, the judge, when she dismissed it with prejudice, she did say that, no, I'm throwing this out and I am closing the book on this case. It can never be brought to trial again. Which I don't know that she has the power to do, but
yeah, she does. I would think she doesn't. I mean,
it's because she probably got paid for her to do that.
I think that allegedly that's absolutely a possibility. Yeah.
Which is illegal because that is a bribery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like Nomi said, this is New Mexico.
It is in the state of New Mexico, and that is a shitty state.
Yeah. It is also possible. We do have to grant the possibility that she did what she thought was right and in service to the court and the justice system as well. I mean, I think it's a mistake personally, but it's possible that it wasn't necessarily outside influence. This was her, her decision because she believed it was the right one. I don't know. More stuff is bound. This just happened. This article that I read just came out about 6 hours ago. There's definitely going to be more coming out down the road. We'll find out more about it then, I suppose. So
we'll have to see. But yeah, he's a little weasel.
Yeah, Ariel, that's true. That is true.
That's what I'm talking about, Ariel.
Well,
yeah, that is actually highly unprofessional.
Well,
Yeah,
and there were
dope.
reportedly people. Yeah, there were reportedly people who quit the set, who quit that production because of the lax gun safety rules. Because people were being very careless with firearms on set.
I would have left too.
Yeah.
I've been like, nope, because that's an
Mhm.
accident waiting to happen, and look what happened.
Well, so there was you guys know who John Schneider is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so very shortly after the initial incident happened, he put out a video on YouTube where he goes into it was only about an 8-minute video, but he was very thorough about explaining why that can't happen, especially not with the rules on sets, why with the protocols in place to prevent this sort of thing from happening, and not only that, but with that specific make and model of firearm.
Mm.
Right, and it was a very, very good video. If I can find it, I'll send it to you guys at some point. But yeah, he was very, very thorough in explaining this. Like, no, the only way this happens is if you did some of this shit on purpose, and the rest just kind of fell into place.
So they intentionally wanted to kill somebody on set.
I don't know if they did intentionally want to kill somebody, but like, yeah, there were certain things like the gun itself can't go off on its own, like he's claiming that it did. It can't do that. It's not designed like that.
Right.
It's been about a year, 2 years since I saw that video, so I'd have to watch it again to be sure on the details. But Schneider knew what he was talking about firearms, and I think also Adam Baldwin, the good Baldwin, the one who's not actually one of the brothers but just a cousin. He came out right after that, and he was like, no, this is horseshit. It's like, this shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been around firearms on sets my entire career. This doesn't happen. So.
Yeah. No, he does a good job on being on Chuck, the NBC show. And yeah, he's played as a secret agent, a special agent. And yeah, he knows how to handle the guns and everything. So yeah, I can see why he would say like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. He's been around for a long time, done a lot of stuff in Hollywood himself. He was in Predator 2, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So shooting things, by the way.
Guns.
But yeah, no, it's a damn shame that, because honestly, this is another example of like, if Alec Baldwin is an asshole, right? This is well known. He's a dick. Everybody knows this. I don't know that he intentionally meant to actually physically hurt anybody, but then again, I don't know that it didn't cross his mind like, hey, I wonder if I can get away with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past me.
I don't know if he's that sinister.
That's the thing. We can't know for sure either way. I just if this was indeed something that happened that was completely out of his control, that he was not expecting as well, then I get it. I get not charging him for stuff. It doesn't really matter that he's a dick. If he's not guilty, he's not guilty. But I think that honestly, this loophole, I think, Nomi, you're right. This kind of smacks of something that came out of fucking left field. That especially if the prosecution is saying, I mean, the prosecution might be fucking corrupt as shit too. I don't know, but if they're saying that the evidence that is being referred to as not being disclosed was in fact not relevant to the case, and they were not going to introduce it into evidence, then this whole thing just seems like another Hollywood asshole getting off with fucking murder.
Yep.
No. So I don't know.
Connections, phone calls.
Yep.
Money.
And who knows what else. But
dick sucking. Let's move on.
Good grief. Speaking of that, so here you go, folks. Here's a list of Sam's potential women.
Yeah,
Let's
real
start with
quick,
Joan Crawford.
Beak, even as the actor, maybe not held responsible, but he was the executive producer on set, and as executive producer, he is responsible for everything that happens on that set.
Mm-hmm. Everything falls on him because he has to oversee all of
Mhm.
what is going to in production for that.
Yeah.
And that was just straight negligence is what he did.
Yep. He let all that stuff go on. He let them bring the live ammo. And that was probably his idea.
Mm-hmm.
We can go ahead and shoot in the desert. But yeah, Sam, here's lady number 12 for you, Joan Crawford. Mommy Dearest.
I actually hate that movie.
You hate that movie.
Mommy Dearest? Yeah. I don't like it.
Know Me Dearest. It sounded like you said Know Me Dearest. Know Me.
Oh,
Have you ever seen this? You ever seen this movie?
I have not.
So so Joan Crawford is a very famous golden year actress of Hollywood. And this is basically that's not her. That's a different actress. What is her name?
That's
Help
Faye
me out.
Dunaway.
Yeah, Faye Dunaway, who did an outstanding job. Because she looks just like Joan Crawford. But correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. But wasn't it suspected that she was like bipolar or something?
Well, they also thought she was schizophrenic. They thought that she was prone to psychotic breaks. There was, I don't know. Joan Crawford was a very complicated kettle of fish.
Yeah, she was. But my favorite scene was of course, everybody. I mean, you could pick a dozen scenes in this movie, Anomi. But the main thing is, Mommy Dearest is based a movie, and it's based off of the opinions of one of the children that she adopted, Christina, and those two were always constantly butting heads. And there's this one scene where Joan had bought Christina a bunch, expensive dresses and everything, and Christina's in the bed sleeping. Joan decides to go into the closet to look at how she's hung everything up. I mean, she was on this girl from everything from, like they say, all her dresses were in the closet, right, Nomi?
Mm-hmm.
They had to be color coded, and let's say if they had like ribbons and stuff on them, they all had to be tied a certain way. They had to be, cleaned a certain. It was just crazy. If the floor was dirty, like the bathroom floor, like she would clean the bathroom floor, and Joan Crawford would say that's not clean enough. She had that little girl on her hands and knees with a toothbrush, scrubbing every little grommet, every little corner of the bathroom floor. Like she was really doing in real life, was really doing this stuff.
Hmm.
And so that night when she found the wire hangers, I mean when she was looking at the dresses, she pulled one of them out, and Christina had hung the dress on a wire hanger. Now, I've made that mistake. I somebody I was a kid, somebody bought me a suit. I wasn't thinking about it. I put the jacket on a wire hanger. Yeah, I found out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just with a wire, how badly a wire hanger can mess up some of your clothes. But one of my sisters, and both of my sisters are adopted, and I actually saw this scene happen before my eyes. I actually saw it happen because in the movie, when Joan Crawford saw the wire hanger, she pulled it out and she was like, "No more wire hangers!" And she took the dress off and she ran over and she spanked that girl with the wire hangers, right? And then she took all the dresses out, threw them everywhere. I mean, just had a complete meltdown, scared the hell out of this girl. And then got her out and had her cleaning up. Just it was a trip. And I actually saw that happen. My sister was sleeping, and they're much younger than me, so I was already an adult. And I just so happened to be up, and I was in my room, and the door was open, and I saw my mother go in there, and I was like, "What is she doing?" Because I was thinking, I was like, "Well, my sister's asleep. They're asleep. What's going on?" My mother goes in there and starts going through the closet. And she had bought them dresses and stuff, like really nice clothes. The clothes wasn't cheap. And next thing I know, I hear, wire hangers! No wire hangers! And everything I saw in that movie, I kid you not, my mother did it. And I was just like,
Yes.
I was like, what? I got up and ran there. I got up and ran there and stopped her. I was like, no, I was like, don't stop. You can't, don't do it. I had to take the wire out of her head and everything. She was blowing up because the dresses, that particular dress that had the wire hanger, I think my mother had, not my wife, my mother had spent like, it was like a $200 dress. Just that one alone. And my sister put it on a wire hanger, and boy, she hit the roof when she saw that. I was like, wow.
Yep. Wire hangers are every kid's nightmare. If you grew up hood. Like us.
Well, Sam used snakes to hang his clothes up. Like a clothes, like a clothespin.
They don't ruin the fucking clothes.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just that.
Yeah,
I mean, the only problem you get there is that they tend to like want to be somewhere else. So sometimes they just leave and the clothes fall to the floor, but that's about it.
Yep.
Well, I hate wire hangers. I hate them with a passion. Even when they put the little cover over them, they suck. But yeah, I ran in there. I ran in there, boy. I saw that hanger going up over her head, and I was like, nope, snatched it right out of her hand. I was like, no, don't do it. She just looked at me. I said, I will reimburse you the money. Because by then, because the dress was messed up, Nomi. Like it wasn't just, oh, okay, like the lines were there, like the dress was jacked. And I looked at the dress and I was like, oh yeah, she can't put this on. It was done. So I was like, I'll just give you the money back, But yeah, my sister learned she learned a lesson that day, and she doesn't use them. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one for Sam. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's Nomi, you watched this one, didn't you?
Nope.
That was a young Rebecca De Mornay. God, she was gorgeous. What? She was very attractive.
And that's in this movie.
Less so now that she's pushing 70.
Yeah.
So you're ageist, is what you're saying?
Yes. Very.
Now the line in this movie, Nomi, was, so it was a couple, and then you see her having a baby. Now that's not her baby. She lost her baby because the wife, she was married to a doctor. The doctor basically molested the wife of the wife of the married couple that she was the nanny for. They didn't know who she really was. So she was in there for revenge. She suffered from asthma, so she like took her asthma medicine out and like sprayed, got it all out, and then made her and then killed her best friend. And so when the lady came home, she had an asthma attack, and then she went to go use her inhaler, and her inhaler was empty.
Yeah.
So, but the line for this one is, they had a little girl that was like, what was she, like 8 or 9, Sam? Was she around that age?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's
And
been a long time since I've seen this.
yeah, and I remember the little girl like looks at her and says, "Are you gonna take care of me?" She said, "Yeah, and your daddy too."
Wow.
Yeah. So the little blurb here is correct. There's nothing really, special about the plot itself. In this, it's kind of a basic plot about a woman who was wronged, who then uses a false identity to worm her way into the family of the one who wronged her, and then destroy that family out of revenge, right? But they're also right when they talk about like how effectively done it was, and like De Mornay's performance is terrifying. So it's worth watching for that. But if you're looking for like highly original stuff, it's like the story's pretty basically old. So
Yeah, but she sure beat the hell out of the both of them towards the end, though.
Oh yeah,
Woo.
yeah.
When the fight scene happened, boy, she was whooping the wife and the husband. And then they had homeboy that played Winston Zedmore from the Ghostbusters. He was special ed, and she was beating him up too. Give me that baby.
Mm-hmm.
No, give me that baby. And she started beating him upside the head.
Oh shit! Now I got Winston Zedmore stuck in his head. Ernie Hudson. Yeah.
Ernie Hudson, yeah. He's
Mhm.
no, I can't give you the baby. She, give me that baby, when she called him a dummy, she was like, give me the baby, you dummy. And she was hitting him.
See, when I think Ernie Hudson, I keep thinking of the Crow, the bit where he's just like, it's like mine from hell. At least he didn't do that walking against the wind shit. I hate that.
I've never heard Mallory. Woo. Yeah. Now see this. Now this is Kohai right here, without the red hair.
Yeah, she's freaking nuts in the movie.
Now I've never seen this. I hear it's good.
I like
Okay.
it.
I saw it exactly one time, and during the course of the movie, I remember being very entertained and liking it very much. But afterwards, I had trouble recalling anything that happened in it, or the names of the characters, or any. It wasn't enough to be memorable for me, which is weird because it's spoken of very highly. This particular film, it's a Nolan film, but it just didn't leave that lasting of an impression on me. So I have no idea who this fucking character is. But I did only see it once, years ago.
Mm. So you've been inceptioned,
I guess. Like I remember the South Park shit where they got Freddy Krueger to do Inception much more clearly than this.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I just figured the fact that she's got that gun pointed at somebody that you figured that was foreplay, but you're like aim for the shoulder. No, in fact, aim for the heart. That way the world will end, at least for me.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about this particular character because I don't remember.
No, what was she just insane?
So the movie Inception, she was not insane, but I can see why she was insane because they have this machine that makes you like go into a deep sleep, and then it's like you create your own reality in the sleep. So, they have kids in real life, but they would go to like their made up dreamland so they can get an escape. And they were in there for so long that she started forgetting what was real life and what was the dream. So when they came into the real world away from like their deep sleep, she couldn't tell what was reality anymore. So she wanted to escape from that. So while in reality, she thought they were a dream. She thought the kids were fake. She thought their marriage was fake. So it was like their anniversary. And she had set it up because she has been explaining to him, like, we need to like end it here in this dream because like this is too much for us anymore. We can't do this anymore. And then so in the movie, she set up a date night for their anniversary. But what she didn't tell Leonardo DiCaprio is that the room that he went in where the date night was set up, it was across the other street where she had set up the date night, like where she was going to jump off the roof and end her life so she can get out of the dream. But she didn't think that was reality. She thought reality was fake. So she did fall to her death. And so in his dream, he's been trying to like redeem himself, like get her back. It's really weird. It's a Nolan film.
Wow.
I can't really like explain it well, but so he's been trying to go back into the dream. So he hires like an architect who can manipulate the dreams, like structures, pathways, everything. And Tom Hardy's in it, where he's a man of multiple faces, where he can play as whoever he wants in the dream. So, oh my gosh, what's his name? He was in Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy. Yeah, he was in it as well.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Or Cillian Murphy, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I think it's Cillian.
Yeah, so the main movie is like they're trying to get this code in from Cillian Murphy, because I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. So they sneakily got Cillian Murphy to go into a deep sleep, and they've intercepted his dream so they can go get this code, but they had to go into 4 layers of deep sleep, like dreams basically. But someone broke it down to them, like, if you go into the 3rd layer or the 4th layer of sleep, you may not ever wake up because you're basically comatose. So it's super weird.
All that to try to get back somebody that is dead.
Yes, so he can also have a peace of mind if the reality that he was in, where she died, was a dream or was it reality.
So he's doing it just in case he was the one that was wrong.
Yes.
If I remember right, and I could be wrong, like I said, I don't remember much from this. That wasn't even the main plot of the movie. It was about like corporate espionage.
Yep. Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, because he's like the head. He's like the CEO of his dad's company who's passing away. So yeah.
Yeah. So I do recognize her face, but I don't recognize it from that movie. I recognize her from The Dark Knight Rises.
But yeah. So yeah, but in her, whenever they're going into the deep sleep, she does show up, and that's why Leonardo DiCaprio like freaks out. He's like, "Shoot, she's here," because he does not want her to see him, because she'll do anything to manipulate him to stay in the dream, and he's gone forever, whether that was reality or a dream or not. So the
side quest.
yeah. So in the architect that he hired was that girl who cut off her titties and became a dude, is a terrible actor now. Alan Page.
Oh yeah.
Alan Page. But yeah,
it shaved her cheeks to make herself look more like a man.
Yep.
Yeah. Among other things,
her. Yeah. So, but she's the architect that Leo hired, and Mel saw the architect, and in her mind's like, "You're cheating on me. You said you were going to leave our family. You said you were going to do this." And so she's trying to get the architect.
Trying to kill him.
Yeah, trying to kill her. So yeah, so in a way, she tries to manipulate things that it is to her benefit, because she wants Leo to stay with her. But I think Leo does know, like, you died in reality. You're not real anymore. So that's why at the end of the movie, he does his little totem to see if it was real or not. So the totem tells you if you are awake or if you're asleep. And a totem could be anything. It could be
Why
like...
didn't she just do that?
She hid them away, because there was one part in the movie where she says, like, "No, let's stay here. Let's not go back to reality. Forget the kids. It's just you and me forever. We can build whatever we want." So she hid her and his totem, and then he had to find his. And when she realized, like, "Oh, you're trying to sabotage my world that I'm trying to create with you and me. I don't like that." So yeah, that's when she goes crazy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sam, she's definitely your type. Next.
What, dead?
You said it. I didn't. It could be worse. She could be a flaming cobra. Anyway, she could have a case of the downs. Anyway,
calm down, Mal.
If Kohai was a blonde, she would be Catherine Tremell. I'm just kidding. Now I would say this: Catherine Tremell was one scary lady.
Yeah. It's funny that you bring this up with this specific image, though, because that scene is the only thing most people remember from that fucking movie. And it is fitting because I think it was today, Sharon Stone released a photo shoot of her trying to replicate that scene in fucking red lingerie at her current age.
Why?
Ouch.
Nobody knows.
I mean, in her current age, if she has the bod for it, yeah, you can recreate it, but
she's got the liver spots now, so
yeah, if you got liver spots and soggy titties, it's not gonna work, girl.
Well, I mean, she's fully. I mean, besides the leg, she's pretty much fully clothed. So
Yeah, except for the part that isn't.
yeah.
But
Did she
this
say
scene in
something
the ice
about
pick
her
scene.
not? Didn't she say something about her not wearing underwear too?
Yeah, no, like you see. Have you seen Basic Instinct?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, I
I
was
just
gonna say,
don't
yeah,
remember that.
she shows full beaver in that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's usually sanitized for like when they show it on television, they clip that split second out. But yeah, in the theatrical release, no, it's all there. She's not wearing a merkin. That's her.
Oh well, I only saw it in the movie on the TV. So okay, I liked it better in Total Recall.
Yeah, she wasn't a terrible actress. She just, that's not
Okay,
what people remember her for.
I have no idea who this is. Clint Eastwood's directorial debut, but she's got a crazy haircut and a pair of scissors, so she's definitely your type.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie either.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know anything about it.
Fatal Attraction. Nope.
Boil your bunny. Yeah. Glenn Close was I can think of from that era there are two performances. I can't remember the name of the other chick off the top of my head. There are two characters in these kinds of movies that really stand out in terms of like women who just lose their shit and go crazy. And it's Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, and I can't remember the actress's name, but the one from Single White Female who tried to like take over the other girl's
Jennifer
life.
Jason Leigh.
Yeah. She was fucking scary as shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. He was like, Allie? She's like, no, not Allie. Then he's like, who? Who? It was like, well, she said, not Allie. Why'd you let her do what she did? And when she killed him with that shoot at the eyeball, woo.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, I mean, and they showed it too. Her that she took her roommate's boyfriend went after her, and she swung around, and you could see the heel from her shoe go right through his eye.
Oof.
And stuck there. And then it kind of swing around the side of his eye, and when he fell.
I don't know. I've never seen this movie, so I will have to put it on something I'll have to see later.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, so Michael Douglas, of course, that's Michael Douglas, but he's also the main guy in Basic Instinct. So I don't know what his character was when he was a married father, legal colleague. Okay. So he was a legal person in this movie, and he was a cop in Basic Instinct. And then she killed him anyway. She killed him in Basic Instinct. Like, it didn't imply that he died, like he dies after the end.
I don't think I think it's kind of ambiguous, but yeah.
Because I could have sworn, like, after the going into the second movie, if I remember correctly, it was implied that she did indeed kill him. Because they were hooking up at the end, Nomi, and it was always ambiguous as to whether or not she was actually a serial killer. And then because she was it was like somebody was killing guys with an ice pick in Basic Instinct. And at the end of the movie, they're like in bed going at it, and the scene scrolls all the way down, and you see the ice pick under her bed. And it's implied in the second one that she killed him that night. Because in fact, it is because he let her chain him to the bed, and then that's when she killed him.
Yep, serial killer status. That look screams it.
Yeah. Angela Baker. Now, here's the thing about the sleepaway camp. Now, this is a part of a series, and if I remember, at the end of the original movie, Angela was revealed to be transgender. Angela was revealed to actually be a boy. This is the original Angela character. In the sequels, it was played by Bruce Springsteen's sister, but this is the person who played the original Angela. And she is a real girl, but at the end, it's revealed that Angela was a boy.
Yeah. Terms were different then. They might call it transgender now, but I don't think that this specific
It would have been a
thing was
cross-gender or
the
Cross-dresser.
specific thing is not the same. Yeah.
no, cross-dresser. There we go.
Yeah, which is a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Woo!
Fuck that movie.
Naomi, have you ever seen Misery?
Mm-mm.
I would love for you and Tabitha to sit down and watch. You and Tabitha should sit down and watch Misery.
Okay.
That lady, you talk about nuts.
The book is worse.
So she's a fan. So in this movie, she finds there's a Arthur. He gets injured. I forget what happens. He gets stuck in his car or something like that. He has a car accident.
Yeah, his car breaks down essentially. I don't remember exactly why, but I think if I remember right, Annie, she manipulates events to put him in a position where she's the only one who can help him out.
Yeah, and what he means by that is she hit him upside the head and she hurt him and then made him bedridden, right? And she was like, because he was a famous author, and she was his biggest fan and also his biggest nutcase, and so she wanted him to rewrite parts of the book Misery that she didn't like. And so what ended up happening is, as he started healing, he woke up and she was talking to him something about some ritual or something some people used to do, and they called it hobbling. No, she took a piece of 2x4 and she put his feet, like his ankles on each end, like the end of his feet.
Yeah.
And then took a sledgehammer and broke, and because when you put them together, so now the 2x4 is pretty much, he can't close his legs.
Yeah.
And so she put them together, and then because he couldn't walk. That's what happened. He couldn't walk because he got hurt. And she took a sledgehammer and she swung it and broke his feet.
So
and they showed
she
it.
does. Yes, they did. And it was one of the fucking worst things ever to see. She did that to him because he tried to escape.
Yeah.
And she couldn't have that because he wasn't doing what she said. Essentially, he was a writer. He was an author of a series of books that was her favorite. He was her favorite author and all that stuff. And he ends up killing off her favorite character. And that's what she wanted him to change, was like, you can't kill this character off. I need this character, And he's like, that's where the story took me. And so this is what happens. And she's like, no, you're gonna rewrite this. And I'm going to keep you here until you do. Yeah, it's a fucked up, dark little movie. And the book is much worse because she doesn't use a sledgehammer in the book. She uses a hacksaw, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, she was crazy. It was a good movie. And when he had to actually physically fight her, imagine. I mean, he can't stand up, and she was coming at him with everything. And I was like, man, I don't know how you gonna beat that. I remember thinking when I was a kid, I was like, that's a big B. I don't know how you gonna beat that lady.
I think Kathy Bates won some awards for this performance. She was very convincing.
She won the Oscar. That's what it says right there.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't reading the thing. Yeah. So but she was. It was a standout performance in a career of a woman who is a fantastic actress.
Good on her. Good on Kathy Bates.
Yeah, she plays creepy like nobody's business.
Speaking of creepy.
Yeah. Carrie's mom is something else. So
No, you never saw Carrie, did you?
I had never seen Carrie. Nope. Get someone break it down for me.
Yeah. So essentially it's a story about puberty and repression. Also based on a Stephen King story. So this girl grows up in a household that's very ascetic and is austere, ruled by her iron-fisted mother, who is a religious fanatic. Now, the reason she's a religious fanatic is because she got knocked up by Carrie's father outside of wedlock, and then he ran off.
Mm.
Right. And so she freaked out, turned to religion, and is so terrified of being punished for her sin for having a child out of wedlock that she spends the next like 16 years taking it out on the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in like anytime something happens, she beats her or she locks her away in the closet or, you know, what have you. And she does all kinds of stuff to this girl.
Good Lord,
Well,
it's a gin.
Yeah. So the girl develops psychic powers when she starts her period, right? Like telekinesis.
I wish
Right,
that could
which
happen to me.
gives her, of course, a sense of euphoria, but she's still powerless against her mother. She just can't, you know, her mother terrifies her. And it eventually culminates between her mother terrorizing her at home and the bullies at school, just because she starts bleeding in gym class, like right in the locker rooms with everybody watching and all that stuff. And they torment the shit out of this girl. And then they play a nasty prank on her at prom. She just snaps and murders her entire fucking graduating class with her brain. Like just rips them apart with her mind powers. And then she kills her mother, and then she kills like half the town and all the cops that come after her. And it kind of just ends there. You know?
Well, the movie doesn't end like that. In the movie, the mom, because she goes home, and the mom tries to kill her. The mom actually stabs her in the back with the butcher's knife.
Yeah, because she believes she's the devil.
Yeah. And so she basically takes all the knives, she uses her powers, and she crucifies her mom with the knives. And then she causes the house to catch fire and cave in on the both of them.
Yeah. It's a dark little tale of you know, what can happen when repression goes too far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a good movie. The remake is not as good.
Oh, that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Sam, even I don't think you'd date this one. We all know who the Wicked Witch of the West is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've only seen bits and pieces of The Shining. I just always thought that The Shining was just too creepy for me.
Yeah. So the woman that they're referring to here is a ghost. Like everybody in the hotel is a ghost except for Jack Torrance, his wife and his kid, and the caretaker. Or no, he is the caretaker, the groundskeeper, who is played by Scatman Crothers, if I remember right. Everybody else in the hotel is a ghost. They're snowed in. Jack's going crazy. He's supposed to be writing a novel, and he's turning into like this weird homicidal it's a whole thing. But during the course of this, he runs into several ghosts, and the one in this room is a beautiful, buxom, very naked lady who tries to get him to cheat on his wife, and he does make out with her. And while he's making out with her, she turns into this wrinkly, saggy, disgusting looking crone. But she doesn't really have much of a part in the story beyond that.
So she's just there. She's just there for gratuitous nudity.
Pretty much. Reagan's not the villain.
The demon is.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but Reagan's also a minor. That's why I'm like, no, on all counts. Yeah, Reagan's the victim. Yeah, and I don't understand that either, because it shouldn't be Reagan. It should say Pazuzu. It shouldn't say Reagan, because she's not the villain.
No, she was the victim.
Yeah.
No. Scary as shit, though. I will say that. What the hell is the name of the actress who played her?
Yeah, the party has
Linda Blair.
Hi, Amira.
The party is here.
Well, folks, it is our local Jen. She has shown up.
What? What'd you say?
I didn't say it, Andy Pickle did.
What? Okay, listen.
Gin and juice.
Listen, stop it. Okay.
Rolling down the street with a mirror, drinking a gin juice.
Hi,
Oh, man.
Erin. Hello, Yakub. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. This is the Pride Show. Hello, B.
You
Welcome
miss
in.
Lou. Lou
The
K.
Naughty Corner is open for service, open for business tonight. The Naughty Corner.
Lou
Welcome
Cassidy
to
was
the
here
show.
earlier, and she just had her birthday too.
Mhm.
Today?
Happy
Sunday, last
birthday.
Sunday.
So what does that make her? What sign does that make her? Gemini?
No, that's not
she is-
Gemini. Yeah.
What's she, a
I don't-
Taurus?
I think she's a Cancer.
Oh yeah, that's right. July is Cancers. Okay, she's a Cancer. Okay.
No, July is Leo.
No,
No,
August is Leo.
That's the end of July. That's the end of July because my sister is a Leo and her birthday's on the 31st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
August is-
I don't know. I'm a Capri Sun, so I don't really know signs.
Oh, fair enough.
Did you say she a Capri Sun? Did you say you're a Capri Sun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Capricorn.
Okay. Oh, that's what that means.
No, I'm not a Capricorn. I'm literally making fun of the signs.
Oh,
He's
okay.
a Capri Sun.
Listen,
can't wait.
I know that is bull. I know that is bull crap, but listen, you gotta admit, my sign fits me. The Libra, it's all about the scales and balance, and the professions that Libras are always succeeding in is legal field, paralegals, attorneys, judges. Libras are best at that. And what do I end up being in the legal field? It
Yeah.
does fit me, to be honest. So, but
I'm a
then
Libra
again,
too, though. So
and it fits the heck out of you too, in many ways.
I'm an Aquarius.
Is that February?
Mm-hmm. I just go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Larry,
Yes, ma'am.
what's your sign, Habibi?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You and my mother, cycles.
I ain't no damn psycho.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Well, my
a
mother is a Capricorn too.
teacher. Yeah, I could be a teacher. Computer programmer. Probably could. Accountant. I hate numbers. Professional organizer. Yeah, I can do that. Real estate. Yep. Antique dealer. Appraiser. Electrician. Yeah, actually, yeah. These
That
are all
makes sense.
these are all things
Well-
I actually could do. Well, scientists. I don't know about that, but
Mm-hmm.
as the only pagan on the panel, I'm here to tell you that astrology is bullshit.
Yes.
But why does it? Okay, but why does it fit people so well sometimes? Because for me, it fits me very well, and I don't even believe in it.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what cold reading is?
Yes.
So it's very generalized, but it's worded in a way that makes it feel more personal than it is. The same thing is true of horoscopes.
No, but I know that. But in my case, there's no way to word the way that I am that can make me align myself with other people, that it can match with, you know what I mean? Because the legal field is all that I do, all that I know is what I went to school for. It's what attracts me. That has always attracted me since I was a kid, and it's just natural for me. And then me being a Libra and all the other attributes of a Libra, always liking beauty, always loving beautiful things, and being beautiful, and the thing that I do best. So it just fits. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
and
just a basic.
sometimes it does. But if you were to take all of the Libras in the world right now, I guarantee you only a percentage of them would have as much in common with what they say the signs are as you do.
Well, you know what? They probably aren't true Libras.
Well, I'm just saying that it's a very generalized thing, and so yeah, some people are going to seem like they really fit exactly what they're saying there. It just, it is what it is. It's
Because I could also
essentially
probably fit into something else. I could also fit in a Leo category
Yeah.
too, couldn't I? The lion is the Leo. I fit a lot in Leo too because lioness and all that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The only thing that I found that I would put any credence into at all is that Libras don't generally get along with Pisces. And in my case, that's generally been true in my life. If somebody's a Pisces, I usually don't get along with them.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that there's something to the time of your birth, like let's say the season that you're born in, that it has an effect on your personality as you grow? Like the first thing that you experience when you come out of the womb, let's say you are a Sagittarius. All Sagittarius, when they come out of the womb, they come out into cold. It's winter, dead of winter. These people are born in the dead of winter, so it kind of affects their personalities all the same.
I think that it's less that and it's more environmental. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit there with when you talk about like the things you experience when you're born, like during that time of year, like what's going on in the, the atmospherics and all that stuff. I think the environment surely probably does contribute to your experience of the world, which will mold your worldview down the road. What I don't think is that Mercury in retrograde gives a fuck about us.
Seriously. Now that, yeah, you're right. Yeah, all the stars and all the things that are billions and billions of light years away, they don't care about us. They have nothing to do with us.
No, even if they are conscious, they're not even aware that I specifically, this tiny little speck of a person on this one random world, even exists. So
well, they're not saying that it cares about you being that one thing. They're saying that you are affected by it, not it's affected by you.
Yeah, it's.
I like fruit punch flavored Gatorade, if that's what you guys are talking about.
Not exactly. No, I do think there are probably certain environmental factors, but also economic factors. Like I think that people just, there may be something to there being not so much a fate or a destiny, but a guiding hand, kind of like you end up where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be. And there may be something to that. And if that's the case, then there might be something to that aspect of astrology. But as far as like the more cosmic aspects of it, no, I think that's complete bullshit. And I also don't think that it's 100% a gauge of who somebody is or will be.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I was thinking about is that it does have something. There is some small truth to it, just because, but yeah, the majority of it is bullcrap. But I believe that there is a small truth to it, in that people that were born in the summer, let's say people who are born in the summer months, that you guys feel different because that when you were born, you guys were born into heat. You are, I don't know how to describe it. You're born into the heat.
Yeah.
You're born, and it kind of affects your personality a certain way. While people who are like me, me and you, Samael, we were born in October, which is a time of perfect balance of the sun and the night. So the day and the night are pretty much balanced, where the day is the same time as the night. And something about that probably does affect our view of the world. I don't know. I'm thinking too far into this.
No, I think you got something there. Look, I do think that, like I said, environmentally, I think that something is going on there that does shape us, because certain people born during certain times of year do share certain basic traits on occasion. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that maybe it's less astrology and more noticing patterns. And then that got like folded into astrology down the road. But I'm sure that there was at one point, it's like, well, all these babies that were born in, October and November, they're all moody bitches. But all these babies that were born in like spring, they're all generally happy all the time. The ones born in dead of winter generally are miserable all the time, right? So these generalities kind of got folded into this later on. Just a thought.
Makes sense. That really makes sense. That really makes me feel better about the astrology crap, because I like, know me. I don't, Capri Sun and, great flavored Gatorade. I get it. But,
now later.
What you have to keep in mind about astrology, and I'm speaking to everybody out there in chat as well when I say this, is that it is, when you boil it down to brass tacks, what it actually is divination. It's a form of divination, and all divination has ever been is attempting to read and predict future events with present information, which is all like, I don't subscribe to any form of divination at all. Even if you do get any kind of real reading, it's always like looking at a massive tapestry through a pinhole. It's out of context and you have no idea where it's going to fit in later down the road. So, but it's always about trying to beat the future, trying to predict things. It's a gambler's wet dream, you know.
Well, there is one thing that is 100% true about. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
we
Larry.
can hear you. Well, we could a second ago.
Unless you just don't want to.
Now I'm
Oh,
back.
there you are.
No,
there you are.
Okay. Yeah. There is one thing, Sam, that you're forgetting about horoscopes that is 100% true, and that is about 100% of Libras are come downs. They're calm downs. Excuse me.
Like calm
my
people.
God. No, Amira, you missed the joke. you missed the joke earlier.
99% of them are calm down.
That's a pretty big percentage.
He's calling us retarded, Amira.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You are calling
Amira
us.
is exempt from that. Amira is exempt from it.
Oh, am I the 1% now? Freaking amazing.
Well, you're also a Jinn.
I'm
Amira,
not a vampire.
Amira, basically,
You're Jinn.
what he's implying is that we have an extra chromosome.
I mean, listen, I have extras of a lot of things, okay? That I'm proud of my extra things, okay? You guys are just jealous because you don't have anything extra. I have more to give. Me and my chromosome. So what? It makes my eye twitch every now and again. That's
I'm
all.
black. By reputation, I have some extra stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I didn't even go that far.
Well, he's the only one who can do that on this panel, so we got.
I mean, I did say something about Asians earlier.
Well, if we're talking about things that we hate, can I join the club? So there's this group of people, right, with very long noses, and okay. So when when Nomi gives her things that she doesn't like, you guys are all for it. But when I start, all the sighing starts and the oh my godding starts. Why?
Because I actually do have a long nose of who you're talking about. I have that blood.
Well, I have another group too, and they're a very colorful group. Now, if we want to talk about those people, we can have a long conversation about that. I would love to. Did you guys hear Joe Biden? He announced that Trump is his vice president, and then
female vice president.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called Zelensky Putin. He called President Zelensky Putin.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I mean, in a depressing, we're so screwed as a country kind of way.
No, you're calling the president of a nation that's at war the name of the president that they're going against.
Mm-hmm.
You're great, doing great. And what did Jill say? My husband, Joey, you did great. You answered all the questions. You answered them all, Joey.
Yay, good job, Joey. You accomplished something today.
Yeah, not shitting in your pants on stage.
So
here's a gold star.
Joe Biden has announced that he is not leaving the race. That he, even though they're asking him to step down, that he will not go because he's not a quitter and not a fighter. Kamala Heels Up Harris.
Heels up.
Yeah, she came up and did you guys see that Pride? I mean, I'm sorry, this is not the Pride. I'm sorry. Sorry,
no,
Samuel.
this is the Pride too. There are Pride members.
Some of them are, yeah.
I apologize. I know this is not the Pride. Well, it's not proper Pride. Okay. Anyway, but did you guys see that, guys? Did you guys see that Kamala Harris went online she got on a podium and said, if there's anything that we know about Joe Biden, is that he is a fighter. I was like, oh, I'll be damned, because that wasn't the thing I was thinking about. That was not the word that was coming to my mind. Well, aren't I bamboozled? She said, oh, we all know that he is a fighter, and when he falls down, he gets right back up. Oh, really? Like that time when he fell going up the stairs? How do you fall going upstairs? I mean, I've
did that
known
3
falling down,
times.
coming down.
It's possible.
But it looks so awkward. It looks more awkward because you're falling down the stairs. It makes sense. But just how do you fall going up the stairs? Well,
I mean, it's kind of impressive. He's fighting gravity the whole way up.
Yeah, that's what he's fighting about. He's a fighter. He's fighting gravity. He's fighting
The
physics.
grave.
oh shit! The grave is trying to
Good
pull him
grief,
down.
Eric.
It's like,
For the record, YouTube, I am not wishing anything bad on the man explicitly and here in the open like this. But let's face it, he's got 1 foot in already.
What he doesn't know is that he's already digging that 6-foot grave, and he's not aware of it.
Yeah. Well, look, there comes a time where a man's life winds down anyway. I mean, it's like honestly, I don't think he's going to make it to the end of the year, and I think that most likely it's probably going to be natural causes, or at least all the amphetamines they've fed into him will have broken down his body to a point where it can't recover.
well, you see, they're not having the same effect anymore. His body's getting used to them.
Yep. And I was also reading that now there's rumors circulating that now the Obamas and the Clintons are now turning on him and plotting against him and stuff. And I was like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, exactly, Larry. They did this, but you know what else? Who are they gonna put up aside from Biden? The only other person that could get the same pull as to him would be who? You guys know who, right?
Bernie Sanders.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Big Mike. Big Mike. Big
Yeah.
Mike will be the popular because it's all about popularity nowadays. We already know it's not really about policies anymore. It's about popularity, especially on the Democrat side, because they don't care about the policies. They don't, half of them don't even know the policies of the person that they're voting for. So yeah, exactly, Yakub. He's seeing ghosts. He's seeing all kinds of things. Him and Casper are the best of friends, but Big Mike is the only person that could bring the popular vote, that could win the popular vote. Big Mike.
I don't know that Big Mike could win the popular vote. I think that they're definitely floating that name out there, and that they certainly think that they can win with that. But Big Mike ain't as popular as they're saying, you know.
Mhm.
But he checks all the whatever
Checks
the
all the
boxes.
boxes. Yeah, checks all the boxes, but is not. I don't think that like they'd sooner vote for Obama again for an actual third term than they would for Big Mike.
But that's the reason why they would vote for Big Mike, because it would be like having Obama again, and that's what a lot of people miss. And they would say at least some of Obama has rubbed off on Big Mike, so I'm going to vote for Big Mike for that reason.
You know, at least this way, Big Mike will be fucking us all directly instead of through Obama as a proxy.
Poor
Well,
Obama.
it just means that Obama will be the little spoon this time. Big Mike will be the big spoon.
Big Mike.
Yeah.
I can't even say his name right. Big Mike. If people outside know me, they're calling me racist because they say, "Oh, because she's a black woman, you're saying that she's a man because she's black and she has black features." No. Oh no. Because plenty of black women, you don't see them as men. Okay. Even Selena Williams.
I've seen some black women who look very close like dudes.
Sure, but most of them don't have an obvious hang down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And their husbands don't call them by the masculine form of their names.
Sure don't.
Right.
I like to think Michael.
Yeah. And no, and Larry, how many times did that happen? It didn't just happen once. It happened at
No.
least 3 times
Yep.
publicly.
And it was not a mistake when he said it.
No
Yeah.
man goes around calling his wife the masculine form of her name. You just never see that happen. You never see a man whose wife is named Maria call him Mario. You're not going to call your wife Mario when her name is Maria.
Mm-hmm. I'll throw hands for sure if that ever happens to me.
Seriously.
Mhm.
Seriously. That's divorce. What are you posting, Larry? Put
What?
it away.
I gotta bring this up. I can't quite see it.
That is a Kohai original painting.
Oh my gosh.
That is Samuel the Infamous with one of his many girlfriends. You know, he likes them incarcerated.
They look like they're
Kids can't run away.
yeah, exactly. Hostages.
I'm kidding, YouTube.
Yakub says they look pretty masculine. No, okay, Yakub, that's possible, but I'm not gonna say that in general because that's not true. It's only true now. If you look in the past, Black women did not look masculine.
Hell
It's
no.
only now.
But Sam looks like a wizard on there. He looks like Sam Dolph the Horny.
Jakub, if you look in the older shows, the women didn't look masculine. It's just now they look masculine because they're dressing like drag queens. They're wearing the wigs when you don't need to wear a wig. You have hair, and they're wearing all the stuff.
Almost makes you miss the oversized shoulder pads from the 80s.
Oh my gosh, do you remember that? The jackets
Yes.
are like, oh my god. It's not that I remember firsthand because I'm too young, but I've seen videos. I've seen it on models on the JCPenney catalogs. Oh my god.
Mm.
Nomi,
Yeah.
you are always yawning. That irritates me to no end. Why?
Well,
are we boring you?
No. Nomi has had quite the week. Wait a minute, hold on. When did Biden say his butt's been wiped?
I don't know that he did.
No, he did. He said that, and it came out. It
came out.
Nomi, stop. No, he said that, and he was trying to say something else, but people heard it as my butt's been wiped. But he was saying something to the press. He was walking outside on the White House lawn, and he was saying something to the press, and it sounded like he said, "My butt's been wiped." But I don't remember what it was actually he was saying. Mm-hmm. It did happen. That's a real thing.
Yeah. Well, he's also stumbled over his words so many times too. There are times when you can't intelligibly make out what he says, but it kind of sounds like this other thing, and people are taking those things and run with it too.
Nomi, what is wrong with you today?
Just hanging out with my friends.
Oh my god! Every time we say something slightly suspicious, here comes Nomi. Make out.
Calm down, Nomi. That's okay, Amira. You missed my ultimate joke, but Samuel moved past it. I'm gonna say it because I know it's gonna make you laugh. We were talking about this little girl who, you know what? I won't bring that up because, like, I want the little girl. Like she passed on, but she is a certain ethnic group, mainly known for noodles and communism. And I referred that group as Chigas.
Chiga. Chiga.
Yep. Mir's definitely gonna run with that one.
No, Nomi, you don't know what you just did. You messed up. You shouldn't have done that. Nomi, what did you do?
No, Andy, not Italians.
Chiga.
Chiga man. Like the Chiga man. You gotta start playing Jay-Z music.
Chicken fried rice. Chicken
fried rice. As a fried broccoli.
No. Oh my God.
My mother, whenever we went to a Chinese restaurant, right? She always thought this was super hilarious, and it kind of was, but she would always look at me while she held the menu within earshot of the busboys and the waiters and say, hey, maybe we should order the fried lice.
Because
Every time. And I'd have to look at her and I'd be like, Mom, you can't say that. She's like, but it's funny. I was like, yeah, I get that it's funny, but these people prepare our food. And
they're
you
gonna
just said
give us
that
fried
in
lice.
earshot.
Yeah.
It's like,
They're-
you're going to get exactly what you asked for.
No. Do you know what my father used to do? It's even worse. My father, he would, like, if he didn't like the food or something, he would ask the waiter, come here. What kind of dog is this?
Okay.
That's pretty
It
fucking
tastes
funny,
like
too.
poodle with a slight hint of chihuahua. At least you can give
Oh.
me something better, a little more tender. Take it back and give me some husky, please.
Oh my gosh.
That's what my father used to say. And that happened only because he didn't like the food. So he knew that we were leaving shortly after. But that was his way of being offensive by saying, what kind of dog is this?
But he said it after they've already served you the food,
Yeah,
right? So
after.
like
Oh my
the number one rule, or what should be the number one rule, do not fuck with people who prepare your food.
Yep.
Or anybody who's cutting your hair or styling your hair, making your food, preparing your food.
Mhm.
Oh, what's the other one? There's another one too. Yeah, there's
I
another
think
one, but I need to remember.
Yeah,
Because
I think
there's three
probably a
important
few.
ones.
Yeah. Or park your car, Beak. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if they're
Man.
parking your car, don't piss them off.
Oh my gosh. But that's horrible that my father would say that. I mean, I was a child, so I barely understood, but I didn't think it was that offensive. I was like, Asians are known for eating dogs. So I knew it was kind of funny, but now as an adult, I'm like, dang, that was savage what my father used to say.
Yeah, you can ask them what kind of meat, and they'll go like meow meow.
Chow meow, chow meow,
meow.
not chow mein, but chow meow. No. Oh no. Maybe that's why it's called chow. You know how they call dogs chow sometimes? Chow. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
It's a chow
I
mix.
mean, maybe. Is that like Chex Mix, but with dog?
Yeah.
Mixed with pigeon.
Undead
Pigeon?
Yeah. Shadow pigeons.
Meow me.
Meow
Yep.
me.
No.
Italians.
Look,
the other
like,
type of noodles.
to be fair, we not all Asian people eat shit like this, but a lot of poor Asian people will eat anything that they can cook because it's sometimes hard to come by in a communist country.
Oh, I found the third one. So it was like, don't mess with anybody who's making your food, who is cutting your hair, or who has this, who has any decision over your life, whether it be a judge, a police officer, or something like that. So there you go. So yeah, preparing your food, cutting your hair, or judge or police officer kind of person.
Yeah, never a good idea. Never a good idea. There are certain professions that you just do not mess with. I mean, like, as much as I dislike the tipping culture, I tip pretty well when it comes to food service because I want them to be happy. Because if they're happy, then I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
So, plus they take better care of me if they remember that I tip well.
But the thing is, like, okay, but people like you make it worse for the rest of us, because you make them entitled to believe that they deserve to be tipped before they even do the darn job,
No, I tip them after.
Causes,
Well, in Nomi's case, is well deserved. I mean, look, Nomi works hard. We're at the bar that she bartends at, and not only that, but Nomi's also one of the bouncers. So she's in there beating up men and women.
I had to kick out a homeless person a while back, like actually last week. So, yeah, that was not fun.
So, was it a woman or a man?
It was a man.
Oh.
Because the dude manager on duty was nowhere to be found. Not because he's like slacks off. It's just like, we don't know where the fuck he went. And this guy is causing problems. And I took care of it. I was actually pretty proud of myself. Took care of it very well. Police had to be involved. So, yeah.
But he was respectful of you when you demanded that he leave.
Yes, he did. He did leave. Yeah, because he was about like what happened is that he came in and he bothered the bartender first. He's like, "Hey, can I get a beer?" And the bartender's like, "Oh, the server will take care of you." And then I was like, basically, she's pawning off the problem to me. I was like, "Hey, I heard you want a beer. What's going on? What can I get you?" He's like, "Can I get a 20 ounce of your copper ale?" And yeah, 20 ounce of your copper ale. I was like, "All right, cool. I can get that for you. Can I have a card for the tab, please?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't have a card." "All right, we can do a pay as you go. You can cash out with me right now, and then I'll go get your 20 ounce beer."
There you
Because
go.
I was like, "You're homeless. I need to show that you need to show me that you have money. If you're not showing me that you have any money or a card, you're not going to get this drink." And then he pulls out like crumpled dollars and like a fistful of change. And he's like, "Can you count my money?" He's like, "Unfortunately, sir, I can't count your money. So if you're going to want this beer, you're going to have to count your money. And if we can also offer you a 20 ounce, 16 ounce, or 10 ounce for a beer."
Mhm.
And then he's like, "Well, I don't know if I have that much." I was like, "Well, if you can come up with the funds, I can provide the drink that you need. Just let me know what you think." So I walked away because like I usually handle like that. I was like, "You're not going to waste my time. And if you're going to think you could get a free beer out of me, no, that's not how it works."
Right.
And then so he kept bothering other people for like money. Or like, "We can't have that. We're not a charity."
Oh no.
So
you
the
don't
main
bother other patrons. That's right.
so our main manager came out. He's like, "Hey man, like I can't have you do that. Like I need you to leave." So he was getting up and leaving, and then there was a couple sitting on the patio enjoying a date night, and the homeless man just sat down with them at their table and starts drinking the girl's drink. And I was like, "Oh, you stupid dumbass." Like, oh, so we kicked him out. The girl was freaked out. I was like, "Don't worry, we'll get you another drink. You can hang out inside. We're sorry about that." So we got her a new drink. And then police came, but he was long gone before police came. But we gave the mini report. We're like, "All right, he won't be able to bother us anymore." And then about an hour and a half passes by. We're about ready to close, and I'm eating late dinner. Like I'm about to eat my dinner late, and then I'm with the bartender. And next thing I hear her say is like, "Oh no, he's back in here. What should we do?" I was like, "What?" And I look up, and he's inside, and he's bothering other tables. I was like, "Okay."
But you said you were already about to close at that point, right?
We're about to close, but like we had like an hour to close, so I already did my closing stuff. I'm just gonna eat real quick.
Well, I was wondering if he was drinking the last beers that people had left. You know how people leave because it's time to get out, and I thought that he was drinking the last beers that people left behind.
No, so I'm the server. I'm really good if like the table leaves, I clean it up fast because we've had problems like that in the past. So I clean up those tables fast so we don't have lingering drinks or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a huge problem where we have it.
Why do people do that? That's disgusting.
Rock bottom.
I've done it.
Rock bottom? Wait, you've done it, somebody else?
Sam said it with pride.
It happened one time. I was on a blind date at this Irish pub in Colorado, and I was
that was
nervous
you?
before
No,
she
just
showed up. No, it wasn't me. No, this girl ended up sticking around for like the better part of a year and made my life hell after that. But that first date was fine, but I was a little nervous because blind date and all that stuff, and so I went in and I had probably 3 beers before she showed up. So I was already a little bit tipsy. And as the night went on, I kept drinking and it got to a point where I was pretty wasted. And people would set their glasses down on the table so that they could go dance to the band that was playing. And I would just, as soon as they turned their backs, I would just down their liquor and just put the glass back empty. And it just kept going like that for most of the night.
It's because of Sam, like him, we can't have nice things at the bar that I work at.
Well, I made a bigger spectacle of myself than that night too. She got kind of drunk too, and the next thing I know, we're both in a booth right up next to the band, so everybody in the bar can see us just like sucking face. Neither one of us came up for oxygen for like 10 straight minutes.
Samuel!
I was like, I think I was like 23 or 24 at the time.
Oh, so last week?
I'm older than you, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm just making the joke. The joke.
So
But
He's an octopus. They age very slowly.
yeah,
they do. But as far as the homeless guy in my bar that I worked with, oh my gosh. But like we saw him walk inside and the bartender's like, "Oh, do we go get the manager?" It's like, as long as he doesn't bother tables, we're okay. And the next thing he does is go to a table full of women. And I'm like, "Yep, go get the manager. I will handle this." And I ran over, and it's just like a bunch of college girls too. They're like all freaked out. And it's like, "Sir, is there anything I can help with you right now?" And he's like, "Oh, I just need a beer." It's like, if you have the sufficient funds, I will get you your beer.
Right. The same
Do you-
conversation we had just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah. Do you have the funds for whatever size you can afford? He's like, "Well, no, I'm asking them to buy me a beer." It's like, "No, sir, I cannot allow you to have these girls buy you a drink."
Not panhandle. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not
And
here.
then he's like, "Well, can I get food?" It's like, "Unfortunately, our kitchen is closed. So no, you cannot get nachos." He's like, "Well, I just want something to drink." It's like, "Sir, we're having the same conversation we had earlier. If you're going to continue to tell me that you want a drink and if you do not have the funds, I will have to call the police." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, well, whatever. I'll just get out of here." And then I followed him outside. And then made sure like he sat on that bench too, because he slurred his words. He didn't smell like alcohol, but he had a hospital wristband, so he was probably high on whatever drugs they doped him
Right.
with.
That's right.
So he's probably either coming off his high or wants to like continue his high, whatever it was. And then 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, the manager comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, the homeless guy came back." It's like, "Yeah, where were you, shitting?" He's like, "Yeah, I was." It's like, I was like, "Oh, well, I handled it. The police are actually on the way," because this is the second time we called him. And then, police came, and then he's like, "All right, since this is the second time he's come in within an hour half time frame, I'll just park out here, hang out, and if he comes in again to bother you, I'll just walk in when he's bothering other tables." It's like, "All right, cool, we appreciate it," because
So,
he was
wait,
gone.
but did you end up like physically having to take him out, or did you just have to like guide him?
I removed, because the girls were getting uncomfortable, so he was just like kind of like touching one of the girls. So I removed one of his hands, like, "Sir, like I need you to step away from this table. Like you need to be you need to be respectful of the tables that we have right now."
Was he filthy? Like, was he dirty?
Well, he looked like it, but he was fresh from the hospital, so I don't know if he was just like grimy from the hospital or grimy from, I don't know. But yeah, it's
Oh.
also hot where I live, so it's probably the sweat that he built up walking to the bar.
Oh, that's a crazy story.
This is my life. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We were talking about that. We also talked about how Adam Baldwin walked on that conviction because the prosecution for some reason just withheld evidence, and the judge said, "Well, yeah, well, you can tell it, Nomi."
Are you filing the Alec Baldwin dismissal, Amira?
No, I just got off of a Young Thug's trial. He had a mistrial finally.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened with
that's
Alex
funny.
Baldwin?
he killed somebody.
He murdered someone. No, I
On
wouldn't
the
say
set-
murder.
On set, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he killed
on
someone
set.
on set.
I remember that. And then what? What's happening now in the trial?
His case was dismissed.
With prejudice today.
Okay. What was the prejudice? Okay, well, I guess
the defense claimed that the prosecution was withholding evidence from them that didn't disclose evidence, and the judge threw
that was
the
a
whole thing
Brady
out.
claim. That was a Brady claim?
Mm-hmm.
A Brady claim was
Yep. So he is now immune to criminal prosecution as per the judge's order.
Yeah.
Because it's closed.
Well, a Brady claim is when, like you guys just said, is when they hide evidence that could change the course of a trial. Like, let's say I'm being accused for stealing cookies from the cookie jar, you guys actually have video evidence of me not stealing cookies from the cookie jar, but you still are trying to accuse me. And because I don't have the video of me not taking the cookies from the cookie jar, but you do, you're hiding the evidence. And it's been found out that you know what I mean? That you had it. But that's crazy. Well,
Yeah, there's still a civil trial to be had, but I don't know how far that's going to go because he's already worked out a monetary deal with the husband of the woman who was killed. I haven't heard a word about the assistant director who was also shot but survived. Nobody said a word about him this entire time. But the husband of the surviving husband of the woman who died, Helena Hutchins, Hutchins or Hutchinson, I forget which. He has worked out a deal, so Alec Baldwin basically has to pay him millions and millions and millions of dollars, which is why they're going to go ahead and finish this movie that got interrupted because of all of this stuff, because of the death, because he has no choice but to make it and to make as many things as possible because he can't possibly pay all these monies right out of pocket. But they settled out of court, so I don't know exactly who the civil trial is for. But
it will most likely be a claim from one of the family members.
Parents,
Well, her
probably.
husband.
Yeah.
Well, he's already been
he
paid
settled
off.
out of court.
Yeah, he settled. So
Really?
it's probably her parents.
I mean, every family member could probably try to have a stab at it, to be honest.
Yeah.
In some kind of way.
Or a shot.
It's also possible that the assistant director is suing him too, you know, because he was also shot. He just didn't die.
Yep. And also, when her daughter becomes of age, she could possibly go after him as well.
That's right. So this doesn't just end with, being dismissed. It never does just end that simply, especially when it comes to a death. You're not just gonna get away. Just like with the OJ thing too. OJ wasn't just simple, like, oh, he's just released.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not like people weren't expecting him to get off scot-free. We just figured the trial would last a little longer.
To make it seem like, it seem like something.
So, I don't know, but
that's wild. I mean, I thank you for that information. I probably wouldn't have looked it up because I wasn't following the trial. I get fixated on certain trials and I will stay on them. Like I was fixated on the Alex Murdaugh trial for a while. And I needed to know every single detail about that trial or else I wasn't satisfied. And then I went to the Darrell Brooks trial. And then I went to the new one that just came out, which was the, did you guys hear about the eye drop killer? The eye drop lady?
Yeah. Did she use like some eye drops? She like put something in the eye drops?
No, she killed a woman by poisoning her with eye drops. So eye drops are poisonous if you ingest them through your body as a liquid, like if you drink it. So if you drink eye drop solution constantly, it will cause diarrhea, extreme stomach upset, and dehydration, and a few other things.
That's me when I drink coffee, though.
Nomi, go! Don't you have a bedtime, Nomi? It's your bedtime.
She's ready to go to the Nomi corner.
Right? Seriously, Nomi without you. Yeah, you're not gonna have nobody in the corner, Nomi. Nobody. But so giving someone eye drops in the eyes, your body can metabolize that from the solution in your eyes, so it's not poisonous to you. But ingesting it, like drinking a bottle of eye drop solution, especially if you drink like 4 bottles or 5 bottles, it can kill you, and it will kill you. It's not a if, it will. So this is the reason why people, the coroner got suspicious, saying, why was there so much eye drops in her? And then the girl said, oh, she used a lot of eye drops. She said, yeah, but nobody's going to die from using them like that. You had to have put this in her body, made her drink it. So I'm on that trial right now. Sorry, guys.
It's funny. I was just talking about going out that way, and I mean not specifically with eye drops, but
I was gonna
um, there are a number of things that can cause you to rapidly dehydrate, like serial vomiting or diarrhea or that sort of thing. Most notably, like one of the most common infections that you can get is called Clostridium difficile, or
Mm,
difficile, which is the short form is C. diff. Um,
mm,
it's very common in hospitals, and the reason for that is because it's a
that's
bacteria
right.
that naturally occurs in everybody's gut. All of us have it, all of us. But
Mm,
there's a series of other bacteria that kind of keep its reproduction down. So when you take antibiotics, it kills all the good bacteria in your system. But what it doesn't kill is C. diff. So it begins to grow rampant and out of control. Once it reaches a certain critical point, it becomes very contagious. Anybody comes into contact with you will suddenly become sick with it. And
wow,
it's what it does is it causes you to it basically causes you to shit yourself to death. You
that's right.
rapid and uncontrollable and constant diarrhea over a period of days until you die of dehydration. It's fucking
It's a
horrible.
very painful way to go because
Yeah.
your guts are killing you from the inside. So it was really bad because the woman that she killed with the eye drops was a raging alcoholic, and the woman was already having kidney failure. So she said, "Oh well, she already wanted to go. She wanted to die anyway, you know." So she said, "So you aided her in dying quicker?" She said, "No, no, no, I didn't. I would have never done that." Then why are you bringing up the fact that she wanted to go anyway? You know,
Mhm. You added yourself out, girl.
Mhm.
Precisely. I'm like, why would you even bring that up if that wasn't anyway? That she's like, no, I didn't help her. Then yeah. So anyway, I don't think she killed her to take her money. So that's what happened. She wanted to take her money. The woman was not wealthy, but she had a little
Ain't
money.
that ain't that always the way?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much always the reason. But I didn't know you could die from eye drops. I thought that was the
Mm.
most innocent thing. I was like, eye drops.
I think if you ingest certain kinds of soap, it'll do the same thing to you. And I think there's like something common in there chemically. Like if you were to say drink a bucket of Dawn, your insides would be scrubbed clean, but you'd also die horribly because soap makes you throw up, it makes you vomit, it makes you have diarrhea, and it's very and like Dawn dish soap is extremely concentrated and corrosive. That's
I
why it
thought,
works.
Oh, yeah.
but I thought eye drops was just water with salt. I didn't think eye drops was anything. I didn't think that there's really
Oh,
anything in it.
No, there's something else in it. I forget what it is. Um, yeah, now you're talking like Clear Eyes kind of eye drops and not like contact solution, because contact solution is very different.
No, she used eye drops, Clear Eyes.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
even I think she even said that brand specifically, Clear Eye, and she was just making her drink that. She was mixing it in her water or something like that. So the woman was constantly drinking eye drop solution and she didn't know, and then she kept passing out and losing consciousness, and she couldn't understand why, because the dizziness and the weakness was taking over. And then not the coroners, the forensic team was on the stand and basically saying there's no way that this woman could have kept drinking the eye drops on her own, because once you drink one or two, you're already so out of it and unconscious that you can't keep going on your own. Somebody would have to force it down your throat, and that's what
Yeah.
happened.
So it's not pure saline. It does have saline in it. That's like the main thing, because it's supposed to be basically mimicking and reproducing what your tears do,
Mhm.
which is to moisten your eyes and all that stuff. But no, it looks like it can have like calcium chloride, sodium chloride, which is salt, sodium borate, boric acid, magnesium
Ooh,
chloride,
oh,
potassium chloride.
that's why.
And these are just some of the possible ingredients. Also, things like polyethylene glycol, which is a kind of plastic, by the way, uh, glycerin, mineral oil. All of
Yes,
these
Aaron.
things can be very bad
Likewise.
for you in large doses. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I never knew that they were actually dangerous. But yes, Aaron, like Visine. There was a comment that I wanted to respond to. Hold on, guys. My throat is my
Well, Mira is trying to save herself. Samuel, I sent something in the DMs of Abyssal Musings on Twitter.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
There was a comment here, and you guys, I needed to respond to you. Oh, dang it.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna bring that up again.
What did she post? Oh Lord, know me.
I told you, Larry. I told you it happened.
Why did she do that?
You said it, and it came on my timeline. I was like, "Oh, dang it!" Now I saw it. Everyone has to see it in that group chat.
Right.
And she's wearing less than she was in the movie.
Wait, but Samuel
what are you
said
guys
that
looking
earlier.
What are you guys looking at?
Samuel, show a mirror.
I have to bring it up here. Hold on.
Prepare
Yeah,
yourselves,
so-
chat. Prepare yourselves. Be sure that you're near a restroom or there's a bucket nearby that you might have to throw up into.
This would have been so much simpler if you'd have put this in the private chat, but I got it.
Andy,
I did put it in the. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Andy, this is gonna dry your pickle.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna dill my pickle.
No, dry it.
Not dry.
Like the Sahara Desert dry.
I hate dry.
Smooth, cover your eyes. You don't need to see this.
Nobody needs to see this, but we're
Yes,
gonna show
Smooth,
that.
save
Anyway.
yourself.
All right. So this is Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct years and years and years ago, right? You guys can see all that?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, this is the infamous scene where she uncrosses her legs in front of the police interrogators, and she's not wearing any panties.
Oh.
Today, she recreated that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as it can get. I mean, she could have been 3,000 pounds.
That's true. That's true. It is true. I'm gonna take that off my screen now because I don't want to look at it anymore.
That wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. She's just a mature lady. That wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Oh, that scene.
So Andy said drinking the saline is like drinking seawater. So that's the reason why she got so.
I think that it probably contributed to it, but I think that a lot of the other ingredients probably didn't help either. Like there are a lot of chemicals that we can't ingest for good reason. Saline, yeah, if you have enough saline, but I don't see you getting that from like a couple of bottles of this stuff because those bottles are only yay big. It's not like drinking like 8 glasses of seawater.
But it's powerful. That's the thing. And so she was given like 5 bottles a day. And she was given these bottles like within an hour of one another. So in 5 hours, she had ingested 5 bottles of this eye drops. So think about that. That's 5 hours of eye drops that you are ingesting. And then after that, you have to deal with the sickness that comes along with it, the dehydration. And instead of getting better and healing from what you went through yesterday, you're giving another 5 bottles of eye drops the next day. And then the next day.
I can imagine that, whoever said that earlier was right. Like at a certain point, you have to force feed this to the person because they're not going to be taking it in themselves because it's not good and they can feel it and they don't want to die. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to her. I mean, I'm so interested in that trial because what a way to die. You know, like eye drops. Like, what do you like? Gosh, I want to die in the most gangster way. I just can't imagine, going to heaven.
Being turned up like Swiss cheese?
Yeah.
Full of holes from the bullets.
Why would you know me? Why would you, like, what in your mind? Okay, is it like too late for you know me? Or is it like this time of the night you just start getting like this? Or
I'm always like this.
Oh my gosh. How do you guys deal with her? Larry, Samuel, how do you deal with it?
We're not any better.
No, we're not.
If anything, they made the influence on me. Like I said, I wouldn't say they made up the word, but I said chiggas.
Chica.
The chicken.
Chica.
And on that note,
It is time.
we got about 10 minutes and we'll be at the 3-hour mark. So.
Yeah. Oh, guys.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go then. I'll thank you guys for having me on. I'm going to pass out right now because my eyes are closing, but I need to drink water because I'm so dry. Thank you, Samael, for sending me the link. Thank you, Larry, for always being an awesome host.
Oh, thank you.
Nomi, I don't know what the heck is wrong. Stop chugging water while I'm talking to you. See, I'm talking to her.
Eye drops.
It's eye drops. Oh my gosh, Nomi. I actually love Nomi. You guys know that, right? I actually do love her.
Yeah.
Bye, Nomi. But thank you all, and thank you, half pride, half Samuel. What do you call your people?
Chiggas.
Larry's taking to calling them abyssals lately.
I'm sorry, Samuel.
I said Larry's taken to calling them abyssals lately, but we never really settled on a name other than that.
Abyssals? Okay. Well,
the Abyssal Pride. How about that?
No, that doesn't work. You can't do my thing. But the Abyssals or the octopus, the Cthulhu tribe. But thank you all for having me. I appreciate you. You're always rocking. I will see half of you guys tomorrow. Yeah. The Musers. That's awesome too. So Larry, we got to think about something. We got to sit down and think about tomorrow what we're going to call the family,
Chiggas.
Chica.
Oh my goodness.
Good night.
Bye.
Right,
sorry if I ruined your all's show.
No, you did. It's your show too, Nomi.
It's true. it's true.
You wanna plug anything?
This Sunday? No, I lied. This Monday I will be on Moonskull doing tabletop with G&G. G&G tabletop. I will be playing Call of Cthulhu. I might go live tomorrow on Kick in the morning or the afternoon, just playing whatever game, hanging out. Next Thursday, Dames and Dorks and Midnight's Edge Espanol. You can catch me there.
All right.
Sam.
Well, here in about half an hour, I'll be over on Devil's Channel for Beelzebub. That's just enough time for me to stuff my face and have a smoke before I go back on. And then we'll be back with the Abyssal Musings Jesus Christ, I can't even keep my own show straight.
Screaming into the Void,
number 103 tomorrow afternoon. We do have some stuff to talk about, and that's come up this week. It should be an interesting show. Also, we will be featuring the return of green-haired anti-liberal to the panel, so we'll welcome her back. And then Monday I'll be on Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel for Mellow Mondays. Beyond that, you can find both myself and Lawrence Knight over on the young lady who just left the panel's channel, Exiled Lioness 2, where we moderate and run things behind the scenes and do all sorts of stuff that we don't get paid for. That was a joke, Mira, if you're still listening. I was just kidding. Please don't beat me. And that's about all I got.
All righty. Well, then let's do it. Guys, you can catch me tomorrow in the chat as a moderator for the World Famous Exile Lioness 2 channel. And you can catch me here every Friday with my extraordinary co-hosts, Nomi Without You and Sammy the Infamous. Other than that, we be out.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.